right, what's going on, everybody? Hoopy 186, Traditionalist 101, and this is the Overrated Podcast, episode 132. Malta, what's going on, bro? Ruben, what's going on, bro? And Traditionalist, what's going on, bro?
All right, so looks like we got some guys here already. You guys were the first ones. That's really awesome. It's good to see our supporters coming to support the podcast once more. Appreciate you guys so much. So yeah, we're in this. We don't have too many topics today, but at the very least, we're still gonna try to make it a really good show. And yeah, what's going on, Ruben? You said, "Hey, Trad, what's up, man?" And Malta, yeah, everything is going all right. I'm just a little tired, but then I have to head to the gym before the day is over, before the night is over. I have to head to the gym because I'm in this program once again, and yeah, it's been rough, but I'm happy to do it. So how was your weekend?
It was surprisingly not terrible. Surprisingly not terrible. Obviously, Friday, um, we went to you and me both went to James's house to play some games. Shout out to him on his birthday. It wasn't his birthday, but I know it was his weekend gaming getaway. I guess you could call it. I don't know how you call it that, but it was a lot of fun doing that. Saturday, I worked. Um, yeah, I worked, but there was some good things that happened to me Saturday. What was it? Damn, what was it? I know I was happy about something.
You ha-
Oh yeah, okay. So
go-
huh?
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was doing some door dashing, and I made some good money that day. Got me a free pizza and a Sprite due to, I wouldn't call it incompetence. Since I'm being nice, I would call it a mistake on the company's part.
A
So
mistake.
yeah, because I guess they made two pizzas where the order was one pepperoni, one pineapple, right? And they accidentally made both pizzas um pineapple mixed in with um pepperoni.
Hmm.
So I had to wait. And now mind you, this was around the time where I wanted to get home, get some rest before I had to go to my actual job. But they wanted me to wait, and in the meantime they gave me a free slice of pizza. I was very appreciative of that. So I had that, and then I went to work, and that was a bit of a pain in the ass for a little bit, but that was fine. And then yesterday, pretty much an off day at work. So
I didn't understand your issue about that it didn't open or people they didn't finish cleaning. Like what was that all about?
oh no, because they were doing deep cleaning, and the thing is that when the deep cleaning done, then it is up to the cook to put the kitchen back together. The problem is that they weren't close to being done, and I'm not waiting. I'm not. Look, I can't wait for them to be done. I can't wait for them to get done. So I
Um,
so I had to leave. I had to leave. It was time for me to go, and I had to leave.
did they ask you to stay?
He did initially, but then I told him, bro, like they didn't even clean the drawers yet, and that's the most. To be honest with you, that's the thing. That's the most. That's the hardest thing to do because those drawers are heavy.
Hmm.
Those drawers are heavy. So like I didn't mind. I definitely would have wanted to do that if they were done. If they were done, I would have absolutely done it. But they
Yeah.
weren't done. They weren't finished. So it's like, bro, I can't wait for them. You know what I'm saying?
So what you did, you just left everybody high and dry, knowing that everything wasn't finished.
I mean, what can I what's my what's,
You're so wrong for that, man.
no, there's nothing I could have done because I had to take my mom to work also.
And you could have came back.
The fuck? I'm not doing that. Let me ask you a question. You would do that?
No, I'm just saying that it would have been nice if you actually did something like that, for your teammates. That's all.
No. That's not what I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you that. I asked you if you would have done it.
No, I don't know. Maybe,
So that means no.
maybe.
No,
Yeah,
maybe no.
they-
No, maybe no. Like that. No. Trust me, it's something that I didn't want to do, but at that point in time, bro, like my life can't stop because of my job. Trust
okay,
me,
fair.
that's happened before, and I don't like that feeling.
You don't like that
If,
feeling.
no.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So
Uh,
Malta.
oh, go
Mhm.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. So my weekend was okay. I finally decided to my brother let me hold his account, and I was watching the X-Men, the X-Men, the X-Men anime that they finally brought back, X-Men 97.
And hold on. Before you go, okay, I know where this is. I know where this is going. Now, have you seen every episode?
I saw both. Yes, they only have 2 episodes right now.
They only have 2.
Yeah,
Damn. Okay. Because I'll what I was planning on doing, because they are going to release more episodes, right?
of course.
Okay. So what I want to do, I want to wait till all the episodes come out to where I'll watch it, and then I thought it would have been a good idea if we both reviewed the season.
Since when do you ever care about watching X-Men or any anime?
Well, I mean, I watched the original,
All of
and
it?
not all. No, I haven't seen every episode, but I've seen the show before. I've seen the original before,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to watch it to see how it was. Now I know we had an argument technically about this yesterday, and I know you weren't. You're not, obviously you're not a fan.
Wait. Are you saying that? Wait. What are you trying to say here? What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying that I know you're not a fan.
Kind of what?
Fan of X-Men 97.
No, it's not that I'm not a fan. I just didn't like what they have been doing before they even showed before it was even aired on Disney Plus. I had already knew that there was going to be some complaints. First off, I don't like the art style of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the art style. To me, it felt like it actually got worse. Now, as far as the coloring and everything, I mean, people may say, "Oh, well, that looks like it's an upgrade," but I felt like the details. You know what? And I'm actually going to show it here. Let me
All
see
right,
if I
so
can find it.
why you get to, let me read some comments while you get to it.
Yeah.
Let me try to scroll up here. Malta, he's saying that he's gotten fat again, and he said that he should probably do Uber Eats. Yeah. Do you have to pay taxes on that? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. If you want to do Uber Eats, yeah. If you are serious about it, I would do it. It's been a net positive for me. And once you have to stick with it though. It starts slow, but once you get enough deliveries under your belt, once you get comfortable with it, you will make more money from it. Definitely. Always. Because the way I do it is I always pick spots where I'm not doing anything to do them. You know what I mean? Like if I let's say if like yesterday, I was there's nothing going on. I was like, it's 8 o'clock. Let me get ready to go. Let me get ready to go to work. But let me do some Ubers first, and then I go to work. Right. Unfortunately, I only got one order, but thankfully I had a great Saturday, so Sunday wasn't that bad. So I did my one order. Waited for a little bit, didn't get anything, so I decided to go to work, and like yeah, like stuff like that. You always find time to do them. And trust me, you'll definitely make more money off of that also.
But
Because
don't you have to work like decent hours to make to make the extra money that you want?
um, I definitely had done more hours than when I first started. Let me see. Let me look at the summary real quick. Cause they with DoorDash, they do a great job with how they summarize everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have all your orders and all the stuff that you've done. So last week I made 137. I worked like overall I did like 11 hours in a week. 11 hours.
Yeah.
So and I made 137. So honestly it's if you have the time and you have if you have a motor vehicle, you're good to go. All right, so he said that he had to pay 8K when he only made 47K last year. Yeah,
What?
taxes are a bitch. Yeah. What's
Wow.
good, fellas? What's going on, James? Thank you for hosting us for the event. Unfortunately, I couldn't go Saturday, but Friday was fun. I ain't gonna lie, Friday was really really fun.
Yeah. I went, I was mainly playing Soul on Street Fighter Third Strike and on Street Fighter 2 on his laptop. Man, like, and look, like I said before, I will always prefer to play on a TV. I don't care what you guys say, man. I don't care what you and Big James say. Like, it is always more satisfying playing on the big screen than playing on a mini laptop or some tablet. Like, I that which is why I'm usually not in favor of playing multiplayer on a Switch on that little piece of screen. I'm just not interested in doing that. I will always prefer to play on the big screen, especially if we're competing. Yeah, I much prefer to play on the big screen. But yeah, you guys were like making fun of me because that was my request, which I don't understand.
Randy, Randy, you there? Oh, you're not there, I guess. I wonder what the hell the happening is. What the hell is the happening? It's probably spelled it wrong. I don't know.
And then shout outs to James again. Like we were playing on Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and he was trying to show me like all the different techniques and the basic combos that you could do. It takes a lot to learn in games like that, or Dragon Ball Z, or even games like DNF Duel, etc., etc., with all the combos that you could do in the game. And like I said, main complaint was that I just want a combo breaker on that, because when James is just constantly doing all these combos on me, and then I'm just like watching myself getting destroyed, it's like, oh my goodness, man, there's just nothing you could do. Nothing you could do.
So he obviously thanked us for the birthday celebration, and he had cake and ice cream. I wish I knew about the cake.
He actually gave me chips, a free bag of chips when I came back to his house to retrieve my water bottle.
Okay. Meadow said Marvel vs. Capcom, Cold Pizza, Transformers game recap. Yeah, we went through a rabbit hole of Transformers games. And then good luck on applying for Uber Eats. I do DoorDash, so that to me that's easier to do. But yeah, but either or you should be fine. All right, so James is blaming you for the cold pizza on Friday.
Me? How is that my fault?
What did
How is
what
that
you? So you got the. I know you bought Pizza Hut pizza, right?
Yeah.
So and I mean, I can't blame you. Like I knew that was gonna get cold, but that's why we have microwaves.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Ruben said he glad everyone had fun. Yeah, we did, and I was hoping that you were there, but I know you were in Seattle, so hopefully next time you share in our glory. Oh my god. You
Black,
you
Black, even your gold diggish, that's okay. If you're good at the game, the screen don't matter. Listen, Big James. Listen, Big James. I like to feel immersed, right? And regardless of what game it is, if I'm competing against somebody, it is
I'm favoriting this tweet.
I am more satisfied, and it is just it just enhanced the experience when you're on the big screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that goes for games, that goes for movies. Why do you think we still have big movies like IMAX for example, and it's more expensive, obviously, but it's to enhance the experience. And I think the experience can definitely get enhanced the bigger the screen is, especially if it's a good quality TV. When you're playing, especially if you're playing a game like Street Fighter or you're playing a game like Tekken 8, oh my goodness, definitely a much better experience on the big screen.
No,
Sorry, my friend.
I will say this. I did do this one cool move on Soul. Shout out to Soul, where we were playing Third Strike, and I was playing as Sean, right? And I did the basketball taunt. He parried the ball, but then I hit him with a with a combo and won the match. So I am proud about that.
How
I
many
am
times
proud.
how many times you beat Soul actually?
No, he won more matches, but I thought I did okay.
Yeah, that's not that's not, you didn't answer the question. How many times did you beat Soul?
Probably like 2 or 3 times.
Two or three?
Yeah,
2 or 3.
yeah.
Okay, so if I
I
ask
mean,
Soul,
you
if I ask Soul
you are better than
directly,
me.
if I ask Soul directly, he's gonna say 3.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he won more matches than me.
Yeah.
But the one I did do one cool thing on him, so I have to brag about that. And then in retaliation, he killed me with a rose. So I guess we're even.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So Ryan said once James starts a combo, you can't get out.
And that's the problem when you face guys like James and guys like Soul. Once you're in the air, there's pretty much, you're stuck. There's nothing you could do. Which is why I love combo games that has combo breakers in it to disrupt, the flow, so you could actually get out of that situation. But it should come at a cost.
Mhm. All right, so that's tag fight in a nutshell, Steve. Ryan said, so my character dies in the combo. Then when my next player jumps in, they jump into a combo that kills my previous character, WTF. James said that I bought 4 pieces on Friday plus 3 pieces from Steve. Saturday, Oscar bought 2 overpriced pieces. Is that the one that the 2 for 80?
Oh my goodness, man.
How the
Oh goodness.
how did that happen? So he just went to a pizza place that was open at the time, and and then that's it.
Yeah, just 2 boxes for 80 something dollars, and I think he tipped the person. I mean, he was nice enough to even giving us pizza, but holy moly, $80 for two
I mean,
boxes.
how big were the pizzas?
No, they were just regular size pizzas.
Like
Now, but I will say they taste amazing though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Those are actually one of the best pizzas I ever had. They taste.
there ain't no pizza worth $40 that tastes amazing.
It tasted. I really enjoyed it.
Not for $40 each. Not for $40 each. I'm sorry, man. All right, James said if you want immersion, put your headset on. Yeah, immersion is about the feeling and the atmosphere. You can't immerse yourself when learning. Training stage in any fighting game won't cause immersion. Next time you'll have to practice on Tosanaku versus Capcom. Has burst but gives you risk rewarding training.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. That's cool.
All right, so what are we looking at here, Steven?
All right, so this is the comparison from the 90s and the 97 version, which is on currently on Disney Plus. Well, actually, both are on Disney Plus right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, which one's which?
All right, this is the one that came out in the early 90s, the one at the top, and the one at the bottom is the one that's currently having new episodes right now.
Okay.
So now to me, I don't care what anybody says. To me, the one at the top looked far better than the one at the bottom. You could even see the extra details on, for example, on Storm, Wolverine, Rogue. Like to me, they just seem to have much better detail. Even with this one, I'm not really going to count Magneto, but they just seem to have a lot more details on their drawings than they do
Okay,
on the ones that they have now.
okay, I agree with you there. I do agree on the detail, but when it comes to overall, I actually think the bottom looks better. To me, the bottom looks better. With the only exception is Gambit. I actually think Gambit in the OG looks better. Everything else, I don't know. I kind of like what they did with the art style.
To
I don't
me,
know.
to me, the art style here at the bottom underneath it just looks
It
too
definitely looks more. It definitely looks more simplistic.
way too much, simplistic. I just felt like they were being lazy in the drawing, underneath. I just felt like it didn't they didn't put as much effort into it just by looking at it.
I don't know. I don't know. I like I don't think either one is bad, but I do like I don't know. I don't have a problem with it.
And matter of fact, the person who actually did the drawing, she even admitted the reason why they had to cut back and making it more simplistic was, I guess, because of the cost. Like they
Budget.
didn't they didn't want to maintain with the extra details and the extra shade and the coloring on it, because I guess it was just they was just trying to save money, in my opinion. Pretty much she said she just wanted to save money. And I mean, if you want to save money, I guess that's fine. But if you're going to compromise quality, for the sake of money, I just it still will leave some sort of dissatisfaction to your fan base, knowing that you was trying to take shortcuts in this new anime that you're trying to bring back. Especially if you want to say, oh, and this is about nostalgia and let's continue the story, with X-Men, but then you're trying to take shortcuts. I mean, you already have people complaining about Rogue, how they were saying how they remove, the aesthetics with Rogue. I mean, look, I do like her better here, far better here than what she does now. And I also like how Jean looks than how she looks in this one. I just I just think that they should have just kept the original art look with the original if they want to continue the story. Like if this was a brand new different type of X-Men, I could understand that. But if you're going to have a continuation, I don't see the big issue here of keeping the original artwork. And you say you like the new one better. I mean, that's fine that you do. I just feel like you could tell the effort that was put in with the detail in the original '90s cartoon is just far better. In my opinion, in my opinion, it just looked far better. Like you can even see here with Jean how this one looks like she has, like, I don't know, I guess like a pouch on the side, where this one looks flat. Like I said, it just looked more lazy of a drawing here than you see at the top, if you know what I'm saying.
So the way I look at it like this, I don't think you can mimic the old style if you're gonna do something new. I think if you're going to do something new, I think you have to change the art style a little bit. And they went the cheaper route. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Though, like I said before, the thing that matters the most is the quality. And we will talk about. I mean, if you want to talk about it now, you can. But I don't want to stretch the podcast too far. And I know you don't want to because you have to go to the gym. So do you like my proposal? We watch the show, then we
Are you
review the show
are you
together.
are you are you truly going to watch the show,
Yeah,
all of it?
yeah.
Hmm. I don't believe you, but because
You
I
you
know
have my word. You have my word.
the reason why I don't believe you, because you even admitted to even Big James that you don't care about anime, or you just don't watch anime anymore.
Not no, well. That's not entirely true. I've never been a huge fan of anime. Never been.
Yeah, the
But
only anime that you saw was Dragon Ball Z and Cowboy Bebop. That's it.
no, no,
That's
no. I watched Trigun. I watched Tenchi Muyo, Yu Yu Hakusho. I watch shows. I
all old,
definitely watch shows.
all old shows,
Hmm. Hmm.
all old shows.
Yeah, I don't watch new shit. No, I don't watch new stuff. That's just the old man in me. But But yeah, I'll definitely give it a try. I'll definitely give it a try. But
Mhm.
all the episodes are out and we're able to watch all the episodes, then we can have a discussion over it. No, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, so this is the other screenshot, that I wanted to take. Like when you do the actual close up. Now I didn't do this with all the characters. I just wanted to do this with Rogue since there was this huge uproar about Rogue of how they
Yeah,
felt.
because he didn't draw her ass. That's why.
Yeah, like they were saying, they purposely made her rear end flat
Mhm,
and that she doesn't have a chest anymore. Like,
mhm.
but do you see what I'm saying? How the detail and the shaded work and like the extra coloring that's on the original anime then to what it is now. Here, it just feels. If you never saw this, you obviously wouldn't think anything of it. But now, when you could actually compare, both shows, you could see that they truly put more effort into the original show than they did, with the new one. Like, do you see what I'm saying now?
Yeah,
With the
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. To me, everything has to connect. When it comes to art, everything has to connect together. Like the thing that does annoy me is inconsistent artwork. Like certain things look good, but other stuff don't look good. You know what I mean? But if it's consistent throughout everything regarding like either the scenes, the character models, and all the other stuff, then I can deal with it. But if you look at it from here, yeah, the bottom looks more detailed. The bottom definitely looks more detailed.
hmm
My thing is, I don't think the one on top looks bad based on everything else they did with the series. Like
Oh,
I
so
can,
you think it actually looks good?
yeah, I don't have a problem with either one. When you compare the two, I would say the bottom looks better. But I don't think neither one looks bad. I don't think 97 looks bad.
Hmm. Okay.
I mean, it's only when you compare the two when so if you prefer 97, you're gonna pick 97. If you prefer the OG, then you can prefer the OG.
Okay.
All right, so
Okay.
let me read this real quick. James said that the top row, if you can go back to the first screen, he said
Um.
that the first row looked better. More detail and female characters have their curves. Yes, controversial statement. Bottom has a wider color variety, but I'm tired of new animation use cell shading.
That's a
Yeah,
that's a
so
right.
yeah, cause he preferred the one on top because it's is more details and more definition in the characters,
You see
and
exactly.
he doesn't like the cell shaded look to it. I don't mind cell shading at all. I like cell shading. So I mean, yeah. So I mean,
And and
I know what you're saying.
And yes, so James, I'm glad that you also mentioned, more detail and female characters have their curves. Yeah, and this is the issue that I have, not just comics, not just anime, but even also when it comes to video games. My thing is this: if you are going to cover, and me and having had this discussion because he brought up, Mortal Kombat, which was a really really great example that he brought up when he was doing the comparison between the newer Mortal Kombat games compared to all the older ones where the females were very sexualized. And my position has always been this. If you're going to cover, like, let's say, a woman's chest and whatnot, I'm okay with that. Just don't remove them, or pretty much don't remove their aesthetics. That's always been my position. Don't remove, the aesthetics. If you're purposely going to remove everything, clearly that's just an indication of you trying to not just there's an agenda behind it. You didn't do it just to be creative. You purposely did it to send a message, and I don't like you doing that with with certain animes or games that I like. You know what I'm saying? And people, man, you have people that have, said, as long as the overall product is good, that's fine. And you shouldn't be complaining. But to me, when you have a connection, with these characters, these beloved characters that you grew up watching, you will definitely be more impacted when these changes are made. Now, newbies like the Gen Zs and the alphas, they're not gonna really care about it too much because they didn't grow up. They weren't alive when the original X-Men came out, or all the other old animes that came out. But the people who actually grew up with it, yes, they're going to complain about it, and yes, they complain about Rogue. But my main issue, and I'm not gonna read the article, but my main issue was this. Let me show you right here, and then
All
we'll
right,
move
so
on.
while you do that, let me read this. I understand art expression, but stay consistent. Marvel and DC's established characters have always been either thick, curvy, muscular, or a mixture of all of them in the comics. And artists do a disservice when they do a drastic change, disregarding source material.
You hear that, Hoovy? And people do have a problem with that, even if the story is good or if the gameplay is good. People will still have a problem with it, and people will still complain over it. Which is why which is why you and I both agreed that it still makes it a package deal. Don't compromise it. Don't
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Go ahead.
I
Go
didn't
ahead.
say nothing about agreeing with you on that.
Yeah, you did, because you're doing that said it. You were doing that actually said it first.
I said that the most important thing is the product itself. That's the most important thing. There are certain things that you can quibble over as far as art style, graphics, all the other stuff that goes into it. But the most important thing is the quality of the product.
Um, okay, that's fine, but that still doesn't mean that we could easily just dismiss the things that were changed.
No, no, you don't have to dismiss it. But if you're using that to dismiss the entire product, that's the problem I have. Actually, no, I don't even have a problem with it. You can dismiss the entire product if one or two things are missing or changed or whatever.
Okay.
That's fine. But then you going around saying, "Oh, this sucks, that sucks." That I don't agree with because you never gave the full product a chance in the first place.
No, okay. Well, this is the last thing. I'm gonna make this quick, because Hoovy doesn't want to meet, make this a topic. So let me just do this real quick. I don't like the way how Morph looks right now. This is how this is. Oh, hold on. Let me go back into it. This is how Morph looks right now, and this is what he looked like before. And they obviously changed his sexuality, saying that he is non-binary, or that he's gay, or whatever. And
Wait, is he non-binary or is he gay?
well, both was mentioned, based on some of the articles that I have read.
What does it say
And on the show,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's only 2 episodes in, so obviously we have to wait. So obviously we're going to have to wait until he actually talks about his sexuality or his personal life, which I guarantee they are going to address now that they made this a drastic change of how he looks like. I mean, it is night and day when you look at his before and after. So so to me, obviously they're going to give some sort of
I mean,
explanation.
they. I mean, he looks like 12, and now he looks like a human.
Ah, oh man, that's actually funny. I mean, you could even say necro if you when you
Oh
think
yeah,
about it.
this girl.
You could even say necro. Shout out to Dirt Strike, even
Yeah.
though with your garbage roster, but shout out to Dirt Strike anyway. Um, so here's the rumor. So there's been rumors that he has a relationship, with Wolverine. Now I don't know how true that is, but it seems like they have a very, very, very close relationship, which am hoping that when they say that, it is just friendship and friendship only.
Were
Kind of
they
like how
friends? Were they friends in the original?
kind of like how it is with Ken and Ryu, right? You know how
Are
Ken
they
and Ryu
Are they friends in the original?
in the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Well, here's the thing. Morph only lasted 2 episodes, so they didn't really get to express how close Wolverine and Morph was. Because I don't know if you remember watching the first 2 episodes of it. I think he was in the first two or first three, but he didn't last long, in the whole series. He didn't really last that very long because he got hurt, by the Sentinels, and then he and Beast, got captured, and then that's when you had the beef with Wolverine and Cyclops, because he pretty much abandoned them, but he said we had no choice. So it was an amazing storyline. So they didn't really gave a really true explanation of how close they were, because he pretty much got killed in a few couple episodes. So they didn't really get a chance to explain it, but he was really pissed off that they were left behind. Now, from what Randy had said in the chat, he said that if they make Wolverine gay, he's not going to watch. And I'm telling you, Hoovy 186, that is a prime example of, even if the product or the overall story is good, if you make a change like that to where, let's say, you made Wolverine gay, or you made him trans, or let's say you suddenly turn, Gambit, into a, I don't know, also, make him gay, like beloved characters. Even if they gave a good explanation why, and they made the overall story, great, can you at the very least see why people would just dismiss the franchise completely, the whole series completely, when you make that of a drastic change? I'm telling you right now.
No.
If that actually happens, I'm not supporting the series. I'm not. I'm not supporting the series. I don't give a damn how good it is. If you are going to make Wolverine gay, or if you ever made, Gambit gay, for example, I'm not supporting the series. Okay. I'm not. And I'm unhappy with this art look. I'm unhappy that the fact that they made a huge change with Morph. I'm not happy with it. And they want to use him being a shapeshifter as a scapegoat of why he's non-binary. So pretty much what you're saying is all shapeshifters are all non-binary now. All shapeshifters could, become, bisexual because they could turn into male or females.
I mean, we should go ask them.
When these characters were made, whether it was Morph, well, Morph wasn't really in the comics. He was introduced in the series first before the comics. But when you have someone like Mystique, for example, they had always portrayed her as a female who can shapeshift. You know what I'm saying? A female who can shapeshift. Morph is a male who can shapeshift. Yes, he could turn into a female, but he was always portrayed and created as a male.
Yeah, all right. Go ahead. Can I ask a question? So, if Morph turns into a female, now you're saying he's male, right?
Yes.
Let's say he turns into a female, and he lets a male hit. Does that make him gay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if Mystique turns into a guy and he lays pipe to a girl, that makes her gay. Does that make her a lesbian?
Yes.
Oh man, that's funny. All right. You can continue.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to be unhappy about that. And look, if you want to have gay characters in your franchise, in your series, fine. Make new characters. Make him gay, make her trans, make her, whatever. But Morph was never portrayed as a non-binary character. He was not. So, I am. Go ahead.
Would he be non-binary if he just shape-shifted to whatever and then fucked whoever?
What kind of question is that, man?
No, I'm just asking a question. If he can shapeshift and he has sex with whatever, then don't that make him non-binary? I'm just asking questions.
He can shapeshift into a woman, but biologically, he's still not. And because if they, you know what, I should probably ask Shane or Jabonis this, but like, for example, like, since you want to talk about sex, which is weird.
Oh, Jabonis down in the chat. He got something to say.
He's in the chat right now.
Yeah, he got some. He got something to. He got something to say.
Oh, he has something to say. Well, I'm glad that he's here because I definitely have something to say about him. Um, what I would definitely like to ask him, or I would like to ask Shane, because I think Shane would definitely know, because I know he always loved the X-Men also. That since you want to talk about sex and who's sleeping with who.
No, I'm just asking questions. That's it. I'm just asking questions.
No. The fact that you even asked that question is bizarre. But
No, it's
but
not bizarre.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it is. All I'm saying is this: if he did actually became turned into a female and then he has sex with a male, do I think he's gay? Yes, because he is still originally biologically a male, a man. So yes, that would make him gay, or he was doing a homosexual act. Yes, I agree. That's my stance.
Okay. All right, let me read the comment. Ruben said it's just a different art style. It reminds me of the difference art between Capcom versus SNK 2. And I agree with him there. I remember they had artwork from both the Capcom artists and the SNK artists, and they were different. Uh, Kidbit, what's going on, bro? He said Gambit looks better in the new one, and also I actually think he looks better in the old one. But
I think all of them look better in the older
the
one,
old one.
because like I said, even James agreed that it does look more like more effort was put into the older art style, in my opinion, with all the details and all the extra shades and stuff like that.
Joe said that Steve being a hoe on here already about X-Men. He said that I'm an X-Men fanboy and 97 did nothing wrong. Shit is pretty good. Shit was pretty good. F you, morph. F you, leave morph. That morph with the hair didn't exist in the comments, and that morph is all.
Stop right there, Hubie. Stop right there. Isn't that what I had already said?
No. Yeah, you said it, but you remember this comments from 8 minutes ago. So you guys are both on the same page with that. All right, so let me continue reading. And that morph is all over the Exiles and other comics. They're using real tone. Read a book, then talk, Steve.
I don't care. First off, because they originally made Morph that's on the right side, that's how he should remain in the anime, because that's how he originally looked like in the first place. That's how he originally looked in the first place. So I don't care, what you're trying to bring up, when it comes to, oh, look what he looks like now. He originally looked like this. That was his original design. You cannot just simply just dismiss that. You
Was
can't.
there any indication that this was like makeup, that he was hiding his true look?
No.
Okay. Depending on the type of media you consume does change the conversation. Since we're talking about a continuation of an iconic series, more consideration could have been considered to long-standing fans. I mean, I get what you're saying, James, but the fact that you're getting an X-Men 97, I think, is that consideration for long-standing fans. And I'm sure there's other stuff that they added in there that is a love letter to the old school fans. But they do have to appeal to another audience. They have to appeal to a wider audience. Morph being white makes sense. Sinister is behind it. Sinister is white too. This is from Kidvid. Joe said they showed how close they were. They went back for him, and he was evil.
Well, if I remember correctly, now I'm assuming you're talking about the cartoon. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about the cartoon. In the cartoon, if I remember, he became evil, but he was the one that came back to them, pretty much to get vengeance, if I remember correctly. Now, yes, it was a long time ago, but that's what I remember. From what I remember in the first couple episodes, they left him and Beast, and that's why Wolverine and Scott had that great beef with each other, because he didn't want to leave them behind, but because they were so surrounded by all these Sentinels, Scott was pretty much like, "Yo, we got to get the hell out of here." Which I could understand his point, because you didn't want anybody else to get captured or anyone else to die. So I could understand, both sides of it. But I don't remember them going after Morph. But I do think they went after Beast though.
Okay.
Go ahead.
James continues, since I don't care to watch the new one, it's a shock to hear that Morph got his origin change, which to me is unacceptable. If you don't have a problem with LGBTQ characters in comics, but do it to new characters, not established ones.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying.
Here's the thing.
Do it to the new characters.
I don't think I can't speak for James. But for you, I don't think you would accept new characters if they're gay. I just don't believe it.
Why not?
You know why?
No, I don't.
No, you know why?
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. Say it. Go ahead. Say it.
Hey. Hold on a second. Give me one moment.
All right. First off, James, you are absolutely right. Big James, you are absolutely right. My issue is, if you are going to start making all these changing these characters' sexuality, like they did with Iceman, for example, you're gonna start changing all these people's, sexuality, where you could have easily just make a brand new character. And if you want to make this brand new character trans, gay, non-binary, whatever, go ahead and do what you want.
No, I don't.
But these characters were already established.
Okay.
Why all of a sudden you want to change them now? Go ahead.
I don't believe you.
Of course you don't.
No, I don't want to say why, but I don't believe you.
I mean, you had no problem saying why before, so say no.
No, I just want to get the podcast going. But you know why. You know why. All right, so Whitney's in the chat. What's going on? How you doing?
What, Whitney?
Hold on a second. Why is this thing not clicking? Oh crap. Okay. Yeah. How you doing, Whitney? James continues on. There's a trans woman on Wonder Woman's island. The new Batwoman is gay, bisexual, and Superman's son is bisexual. I'm cool with that. Are you cool with that?
There's a trans woman on Wonder Woman's island.
Mm-hmm.
The new Batwoman is gay, bisexual, and Superman's son. No, Superman's son. No, I'm not. No, I was never okay with that. No.
But that's a new character.
No. He wasn't gay before. He was not gay before.
All right, but he's a new character. He's not Superman.
Did you hear what I just said? He was not gay before.
What about Batwoman?
The new Batwoman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever.
Okay, what about a trans woman in Wonder Woman Island?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right, bro.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to do. You was trying to do an I got you moment.
No,
that's
all I'm doing.
That's why you laugh.
All I'm doing.
You was trying to do
asking questions.
You was trying to do an I got you moment to see if there was a problem with these characters.
I'm just asking questions.
That's why.
I'm just asking questions. That's it. If a transformer changes to have testes and ovaries, it's not gay. But this is Ruben saying it's not gay. But if you can change your biologically, if you could change your biology, it's not gay.
Well, I don't know if they're able to make that change. I don't. You know what? That's why I want to ask Shane. Like if they, because I never read any comic where a shapeshifter turned into a different. Let's say, all right, let's just use Morph since he's like the main focus here. If he turns into a female, can he get pregnant? I don't think so.
Wait. Really? Okay. Can we stop the absurdity? Why are we asking questions about non-fictional characters?
You were the one that started it with the whole sex thing. So don't try to stop it now. You started it.
But well, how would Shane know if a fake character can get pregnant? Are you there?
Yeah, I would just rather ask him because I don't think Jabonis knows. Maybe he
No,
does,
but
but
I think they can just do what they want because like at the end of the day, like it is what it is.
I mean, I don't think it ever happened.
I I don't know. Like we're asking about shapeshifters getting pregnant, something that don't exist in real life.
Hey,
Oh, this is
you're the one who started it. But go ahead, continue on with the
no, because
comment.
I did that because to show you the absurdity of what you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting mad about a shapeshifter being non-binary when he can turn into a woman and get piped down, and you're just gonna call him gay anyway. Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If you were able to shapeshift, would you ever shapeshift into a woman?
No.
Let me ask you a different question. If you were able to shapeshift into another man, would you?
Oh, like if I'm able, if I'm able, to like, let's say I was able to, turn into, I don't know, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger or something like that. Like if I had that ability, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. But I'm not going to turn into Serena Williams or Beyonce. Hell no.
I've been thinking about it. I would never want to shapeshift into anybody. I find that power to be useless. Because who am I going to shapeshift into?
I mean, whoever you want, I guess.
No, but I don't want to be LeBron James or anybody else for that matter. Like I wouldn't want that.
Interesting.
I don't know. Unless it was something where. No, even still, I don't think I would want. I don't even think I would want that. Anyway, let's continue on. Joe, I ain't saying no more because Steve don't know shit about X Gene.
No, you obviously don't know. They made these changes, just recently. Like this is not something that happened back then. So cut the crap and stop the cap. Continue.
Ruben says I prefer new Gambit but old Rogue. Okay. Joe said, yeah, he came back mind fucked by Sinister. And when Wolverine went back later and they expressed how close they were and how it fucked with Wolverine. So pretty much what you're afraid of is how close they are. You're afraid that they might be you're afraid that they might be a gay couple, basically.
Yes, that's what I'm afraid of. Yes.
Okay.
And like I said, if that actually happens, I'm no longer supporting the show.
Hoobie don't want to say it, but he's calling you a bigot.
I think it's far worse than that.
No.
For some reason now he's afraid, to mention it. But don't be afraid to do it now.
No, I'm just saying that I don't think you want to consume media where there's gay people and trans people. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe it.
I have the whole series of I Hate This Place.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Of course you don't. You don't read comic books. I have the whole series of I Hate This Place. And guess what?
What's it about?
They're a gay couple.
Okay. Well, what attracted you to the comic book?
You know how? Well, I don't have time, but actually I do. Hang on a second.
Mm-hmm. All right, let me read some more comments while he goes. It's so annoying when race, gender, or sexual preferences change. For this from Malta, I never bothered to watch the new Ghostbusters or She-Hulk. There is a new Ghostbusters that I want to watch. I want to see how that is, but I have to watch the first new series. And when it comes to She-Hulk, I mean She-Hulk has been around in the comic book, so she's not an old character. The only problem with She-Hulk is that those animations are butt fuck ugly. those are unacceptably ugly. But the premise of the show, it looks interesting, at least to me. I can't get over those animations and those graphics. I can't get over it.
Okay, so pretty much like I have like the comic book store, they give you these books.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hard to see, but oh
Yeah,
crap, you can't
yeah,
see it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
It can be,
give
but
you these books where it's like a catalog of all of different comic books that you could buy. So like
mm,
they have DC, they have Marvel, they have Image, Dark Horse, etc., etc. You know what I'm saying? And when I was reading, I hate this place. It's like a horror, scary, comic, series.
mm.
And I said, oh, this looks interesting. And then did it bother me that they were a gay couple? No,
So it didn't
no,
bother you at all.
no, it didn't bother me. That's why I bought the whole series. And the series was actually good. And what I also really appreciated, that they didn't constantly talk about their relationship. That's what I appreciated. Like they didn't try to force you down their throats about their romantic relationship, which is awesome.
Wait. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now we're getting to the crux of it. Now we're
No,
getting to the crux of
continue
it.
with the comic.
No.
Continue.
Now we're getting to the
I'll
crux.
read it. I'll read it then.
No.
I'll read it.
I got. Let me respond. You don't have to rush to the comic. We'll get to them. So you're one of your favorite things about the comic book is that they didn't throw their homosexual relationship in your face. That's why.
I didn't say that was right. It was my
No, I'm not saying it's the only reason. I'm not even gonna be I'm not gonna be that dickheadish to you. But that's one of the reasons why. That's what you said, right?
But the reason why is because the story. The story was fantastic.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. But you also said that their relationship was put to the back burner.
No, not to the back burner. They did mention it, like once or twice, but that was it.
Once or
Because
twice.
yeah, once or twice, because she was complaining about um I should have been there for you. I need to to protect you and whatnot. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, I mean, I guess that's in any relationship, gay or straight. Somebody has to protect somebody. You know what I'm saying? So and they did express how much they love each other, but then that was it. Like that was it. Just let's just keep it moving, which is
No,
great.
wait. We don't have to keep it moving. Hold on a second. So I'm gonna ask you this question because in society, this has been this way for a long time. It's always been more acceptable for women to be gay than men. More acceptable. Now I'm gonna ask you this one question, then we can move on.
Wait,
Please, and please,
it's been more acceptable?
more accepted, yeah, in popular culture that women are looked upon more favorably when they're lesbian than, especially when they're good looking. Let me paraphrase that: when they're good looking and lesbian, as opposed to men being gay. So let me ask you this one question, and I hope you can be honest with me on this. Now, I'll accept any answer you want because we do have to move on.
No, you won't. But go ahead. But go ahead.
No, for real. I'm gonna ask you this one. I'm gonna ask you a question. Would the story be more intriguing to you if there are both men as opposed to being both women?
Would it be more intriguing? No,
Yeah. So you would be just as intrigued that there are two men as opposed to being two women.
probably.
That's not an answer, bro.
Yeah, probably.
Probably
Yeah,
not an answer.
probably. I think I would have bought the book anyway.
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine. Let's move on. The reason it's annoying is because it screams affirmative action. All the time movies in the past 10 years is all affirmative action. Every couple is biracial, is so try hard.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because you could tell, like now they're purposely just doing it by force. Like they're it's like they're just intentionally trying to do it. It's not organic. and that's what
But
makes it very annoying.
I think when they try to do something organic, people shit on it anyway. Like Miles Morales is organic, but people shit on it no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you have tons of other stuff in history. You can tell when they're trying to force it. But at the end of the day, I will always maintain that the overall product is what's most important. That will always be my stance. So Joe said that's why Shane don't F with you because you won't leave Jonathan Kent alone.
I mean, I just talked to him, just the other day. So yeah, quick capping. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's continue.
Ruben said depends on the interaction of John Kent, considering they were three Bat women in the first movie. I think one of them was gay. All right. Ruby, leave it. Steve being Steven. I mean, I can't. We're doing the podcast. I can't. I can't. I mean, I got. I got to communicate with this buddy. Whatever you're born is what you are. Morph is a guy. He can't get pregnant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's still a guy, and I don't think he can get pregnant. And then when you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because when you turn, there's been a lot of instances where they would shapeshift into a particular character, but yet they don't necessarily have their powers. So, like for example, if Morph or Mystique turns into Scott Summers, I don't think they'll have his crap. What's his damn, I can't get his power out of my mouth. His my,
Crap! Now you made me forget.
yeah, I'm trying to.
It's not X-ray vision, is it? No.
No. It's not X-ray vision. It's not laser. Crap! I can't get it. Crap, man.
Side blast or something like that.
I forgot. It'll come back to me. But like, I don't think they could have his type of power.
Come on, nerds. Let us tell us.
Or like for example, if they turn into to Professor X, they don't have his power. If they turn to Jean Grey, they don't have her power. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean. So I think that goes hand in hand.
All right. So let me read this from Walter. If Madam Web, Spider Woman's girls are one is white, one is Hispanic, and one is black. Is that supposed to make whites, Hispanics, and blacks go watch the movie because their race is in there? I think that's the idea, but they forgot one thing. They forgot to make the movie good. You know what I mean? That's the problem. And to me, I don't want to get too deep into it because, like I said, we gotta get started on the podcast. But
yeah,
I don't understand what Sony's strategy is with making villain movies of Spider-Man villain movies when you don't have Spider-Man. It to me, that screams, "Oh, we got to make a movie just to make a movie." Optic Blast. That has to be it. Optic Blast.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Cause he says it. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, but I think there's another name for it also. But yeah,
but
good enough.
Yeah. So, like to me, I don't understand. I don't understand their strategy when it comes to it. It just seems like because they have the property of Spider-Man, we just want to see you make characters outside the Spider-Man universe when we really don't. Especially if they're gonna be bad. Like I watched the first Venom movie. The first Venom movie wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I heard the second movie's terrible. Did that what's the dude's name? Craven movie come out yet?
I don't think so.
It did. No, I don't think it did. I don't think that's gonna be good. And Craven's a badass character in the Spider-Man game. He's very badass. He's very badass in that game. Yeah. But yeah, I don't understand what they're I don't understand what they're doing with Spider-Man. I don't get it, man. I really don't. Well, I wouldn't know because I walked out just under 30 minutes. And Ryan Meadows said Drill Claw, Berserker Barrage. Yeah, he was yeah.
Berserker Barrage. Yeah.
And Nolan said that the second one was all right. Okay. On that note, let's actually start the podcast. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Okay, yeah. So I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan, and I played just about not every single one. Like there's still several that I haven't played, but I played majority of the Final Fantasy games. I played 3, I played 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. etc. 10x, I mean 10 dash 2, I think it was. The 13 was obviously the one that I didn't like. So I was just like, oh my gosh, like all these changes that they're making into my games, because you knew how I feel about Resident Evil 5. And so all these changes that they were making, and frankly, with Final Fantasy VII, the remake, what so many Final Fantasy fans has been asking, for years, since back, with the PS3, when we all got tricked, assuming the remake was going to be made back then. I don't know if you ever remember that trailer when the PS3 came out. They showed like a little tease of what Final Fantasy VII remake would look like, and everybody assumed that they were going to make a remake of Final Fantasy VII. It was a long time ago, so I don't blame you for that. But we've been having some complaints from people that they kind of wish that they had kept to the traditional turn-based style like they had in the original. To me, I would have liked it if they kept that also, but I could understand why they made the change. Like they wanted to make a change, and I get it. However,
well, let me ask you a question. Because you have remake, right? And shout out to Multi. He said that this Final Fantasy VII remake was needed because the graphics on the PS1 were god awful. But he said that the gameplay doesn't seem as good. What are your opinion on it?
like it definitely has that more of a action packed pace type of game, because when you're playing now, I know you don't really like Final Fantasy, but when you're playing a especially if it's turn based, when you're playing a turn based, and I know like people may say it's outdated, but there's more strategy is involved when you're in a turn based type of game. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to take in consideration of who could attack first, when does a person need healing, and like it's more strategic in a turn based, at least in my opinion, is more strategic in a turn based type of game. Like you really have to put your thinking cap on when you're playing a turn based RPG. Now some may disagree with me, but that's just how I feel. Because when I play other Final Fantasy games, or like Tales of Symphonia was also one of my favorites, where it wasn't action, it was more like an action based RPG, not so much of a strategy turn based type of RPG game. But a lot of people seem to like that. A lot of people seem to like that. Now I don't think that was why sales were low with Final Fantasy VII remake, at least for Rebirth. And we have Square Enix, who's now complaining about their sales, and they're still complaining about their sales. So this is the article right here. Let me share it.
Why you do that?
Go ahead.
Nolan, you mentioned Lightning Returns. He said that he would like to have a choice between, I guess it's between um action and the turn base. If I'm correct, Nolan. Me personally, based on solely just the gameplay that I've seen, I prefer it the way they do it now. I think I'm not gonna go as far as to say that turn base is antiquated, but I just, me personally, if you're gonna remake a game, I think you have to make it as action packed as possible, and I don't think you can do that with turn base.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take from you. Okay. So I have two articles here. So let's just get real quick through with this one, where it says Final Fantasy Rebirth sales on Falter in Japan, falter in Japan. So Final Fantasy. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Okay, yeah. So Final Fantasy Rebirth is one of the most significant releases of the year. However, PlayStation exclusive seems to be underperforming, as evidenced by the game sales in Japan. According to sales figure from Famitsu and Jimatsu, Square Enix new game went from selling 262,656 units in its debut week to only 24,482 copies in its second week on the market. What's particularly striking is that the second part of the remake trilogy sold very little, especially when considering that the original release debuted with over 700,000 copies sold in its launch week 3 days and 70,000 copies in the following week.
That's a big drop off.
Bro, you're telling me, man. You're telling me that is wow. Wow. But let's continue on because man, there, oh crap, not this again. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. You got to be freaking kidding me.
Oh, let me see. Let me go to my phone, and I will continue reading from there because I don't think I have the same. I don't think I have the same ads.
Okay, guys, I appreciate that.
All right. It's
Well,
important to consider the circumstances surrounding both releases, such as the fact that these figures only account for physical copies and that the PS5 has a model that only works with digital game copies. Hmm?
no, I'm just sucking my teeth because I thought it went away and it came back.
No, 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 no. I'm just reading. I'm just reading this. So wait. So all right, let me read this again. It's important to consider the circumstances surrounding both releases, such as the fact that these figures only account for physical copies, right? And that the PS5 has a model that only works with okay, because they're talking about the PS4. They're talking about the PS4 digital. But I don't think that would be that big of a difference though. If it was lower, if it was a little bit lower, I would understand. But it's a lot lower.
Oh yeah.
Additionally, Final Fantasy VII Remake was released in the later stages of the PS4 life cycle when they are a larger player base compared to the PS5. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that excuse because yes, there are more PS4s in the wild,
Mm-hmm.
but that don't explain the number being that low. All right, see if you can read the see if you can you can't read the unicorn thing either.
No.
Actually, hold on a second. Unicorn, is this what is this?
See, like
Okay,
it keeps going away, then it comes back on. So you might as well just finish it.
okay. Let me read this. The drop in sales led to its fall from the top spot, which was taken over by Unicorn Overlord, the new title from Japan studio Vanillaware, which had a modest debut with just over 74,000 units sold across all its versions: PS4, PS5, Switch. These are good news for Vanillaware, as though the numbers might seem low for any AAA production, it's a good amount for the studio. Put it in perspective. Their previous title, debuted in December 2019, sold 34,000, pretty much 34,000 copies in Japan, only on PS4.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, in this instance, circumstances favored Vanillaware title, as the sales figure were enough to place it in the top of the podium, even surpassing Hatsune Miku and her boxing game. Below are the list of software and physical format and hardware sales for Japan from April 4 to April 10. So they show you that right there. Um I mean, what you told me that you have a theory on this. You had two theories on this. So
Yeah.
what are they?
Okay. So since you shout out to you for reading that little portion, and here's the other portion that I wanted to read, which pretty much brought up a couple theories for me. So this is the second one right here. is it? Crap. Okay, here it is. Okay, now, now this is in this article they pretty much explain why the Final Fantasy 7 was not released on Xbox and PC or whatever other platform. And this what really this just pretty much interests me a lot. And now, unless I can clear this stuff up. Okay, so yeah, while it may have impressed PlayStation 5 owners, it turns out that developers had a very good reason not releasing the RPG on Xbox and on PC. Given the rivalry that exists between the communities, it stands to reason that those who are able to play the latest Final Fantasy would question why their system has been ignored for the sake of exclusivity. As it turns, limiting the development of Rebirth to a single console was actually beneficial. Now, this is the argument you have always used, for the past few years now. You did about how you are somewhat against games being released on the PS4 and the PS5, and it pretty much says it right here. As it turns out, limiting the development of Rebirth to a single console was actually beneficial, as resulted in a stronger game, according to producer Yashori
Yoshinori Katase.
Katase. All right. Speaking to the Washington Post, Katase stated that developing exclusively for the PS5 was the key to making Rebirth such a resounding success at launch. The producer notes that if the development team built the game to accommodate multiple systems, the open world wouldn't have been a seamless experience and likely have been much smaller. That's very interesting because I have always, paid attention to what you have said, and a lot of people actually hold the position as you do, of that if you're making it, for multiple consoles, it's not going to utilize the full power if you kept it exclusively on the PS5. And when they said that it would have been a much smaller world, simply just because if you want to bring it onto the PS, to other consoles, that's a big deal. I didn't think it would be that drastic, but let me continue. Despite this, there's still a good chance that the latest chapter in Final Fantasy Remake Saga will come, to PC. Okay, before I continue, I have a question for you. Well, maybe like a quick, maybe a suggestion. Haven't people have always said, especially Big James, so shout out to you guys once again, and I think even Joe and especially Seaframe have always said that if you want a far superior experience, you play on PC. You've heard that argument many times.
Absolutely, yeah.
Doesn't now, unless I'm interpreting this incorrectly, doesn't this contradict that?
No. Let me tell you what he did here.
Okay.
Now, I agree with the reason why I agree with the sentiment is because I believe that console makers and console creators, right? People who make games on console. Yeah. I feel like they can bring out the best in that machine. And in theory, they are right. You could get a better experience on PC. Mm-hmm. The problem is you do have situations where for whatever reason a PC version of a game can come out either running worse, looking worse, or whatever. Because you remember you have so many PCs that this game has to run on. You have different variations of this game has to be run for different machines. You don't know what they're using. They could be doing this port, like pretty much what Dolphy said, ports, right? And sometimes, a game could run worse on PC, even though their machine is vastly superior to a PS5 or Xbox Series or whatever. Mm-hmm. So what he's saying here is that if we only concentrate on one console, we can do it there, our full concentration, and then we can port it to the Xbox or PC. So according to what he's
Okay,
basically
so
saying, yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go. You can finish. You can finish.
So pretty much what he's saying is that he's if you concentrate on one machine, then you can use that machine to make it for other consoles later. But if you're making the game with all these SKUs in mind, in his mind, I guess he without saying it, he's probably saying that they don't have the manpower to do it
Oh, you
without
think that's
without the, without the
oh
without the game being sacrificed.
that okay that now you threw a curveball at me. I didn't get that at all from that article. I didn't, but you could be right.
Yeah,
You could be
I'm
right.
not saying I'm right or wrong. Like I said, I don't know. I wasn't there. All I'm saying is that I think that could be the reason. That if you concentrate on one machine, you can make it optimize it for that machine, and then you can port it to other consoles or PC later. It just makes it easier for the entire staff to concentrate on one machine. Everyone working on one machine. Everyone knows what that machine can do and what it can't do. You make it, and then you port it to other platforms, and you can improve it in this area, that area, etc.
Okay, so with that being said, do you personally believe, in your opinion, that they should stick to that format or that formula, just make it a time exclusive for the PS5 from now on, and then release it to everyone else later?
No, no. If Sony is willing to pay, then yeah, I would do it. But if they're not willing to pay, then I'm gonna make it. Then I'm just gonna make it on. I'm just gonna make it on the platform, on whatever platform.
Oh, okay. So, and okay, this is what I also wanted to I wanted to say this,
Mm-hmm.
because trust me, I was reading multiple articles about this, and Square Enix is extremely unhappy with the sales with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. They're not happy with the sales. They're not. Now, I understand what you and a lot of people always constantly mention about it's a good strategy when Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo or whoever decides to pay a developer, a third party, to keep their game onto their console exclusively. I get that. However, if you are going to do that, then I don't want to hear any complaints about you not selling enough software. I don't want to hear it. You, Square Enix, decided to make that deal with Sony. And because now all of a sudden you want to make this complaint that, well, we didn't sell enough, we didn't sell enough games. Well, yeah. If the game initially had came out for PC, for the Xbox, or etc., obviously more games, more Final Fantasy games would have been sold. Obviously more would have been sold. But if you're going to keep it exclusive to one console, which I don't have a problem with, that's always a good thing because it continues to increase competition. I'm for that. But at the end of the day, don't complain if you constantly complaining about sales because you decided to keep it on one console. Don't complain. Do not complain. You made the decision. And besides, I'm pretty sure you got a lot of money for it. I'm pretty sure Sony gave you a ton of money to have their game, exclusively for their console. Whether if it's permanently or if it's just temporarily, I'm pretty sure they gave you money as compensation. So with that, I don't want to hear any complaints from you about game sales because you kept it on one console and one console only. Now, this is the only thing that I have concerns, and one of my concerns is that because of the increase of technology, things are constantly getting more expensive, etc. I fear, now you may disagree with me, but I fear that if we're going to have big studios such as whatever it's Sony or if it's Square Enix, etc., complaining about sales, I fear that is going to once again shift the gaming industry space, and we will see less and less triple A titles and have more of, live service games, more games on mobile. I fear we're going to head in that direction if we constantly have these major companies complaining about game sales. Because I'm telling you right now, with games being $70, games being 80, $100, people are not going to be able, even the ones who actually do make money, they're not going to be able, to keep that pace, spending $70 for each new game that comes out. I think it's difficult for you to sustain paying $70 for every game that comes out that you want to play. You know what I'm saying? And if consumers are going to be complaining because obviously things are getting more expensive, with housing and with groceries, etc., etc. The last thing people want is to spend $700, on a game, and then another $70 for another game, and another $70, for another game. Like it, I mean, it's too much. You're paying for online. You're probably paying, for other services, streaming services. Like all this stuff adds up, and I truly believe the fact that these games are getting more and more expensive. I truly believe people are just going to either not buy the game. No, they either probably going to wait till the games are at a discount, or they're probably just not going to buy the game at all. And the other thing that I have, and I hope I'm wrong about this, but I also believe the reason why the sales were down, just a small theory, and this was what my complaint about to you in this podcast. I think it was last year. I think it was last year where I said to you, I don't want Square Enix making multiple games, multiple titles for one game. I don't know if you remember that, but I knew that this was going to bite them in the butt. I knew it because originally, yes, Final Fantasy VII for the PS1 was one game with multiple discs. What Square Enix did was a cash grab. It was a complete cash grab. They knew people wanted Final Fantasy VII Remake for the longest time. They knew people wanted it. I wanted it. And instead of giving us one full game, you decided to make it separate games. And each game is going to cost $70. To me, that's what caused less sales on Final Fantasy Remake, on the Final Fantasy Rebirth remake. You want to make multiple games. You want to make as much money as possible. I get you, but at the end of the day, it's still one game, and you decide to keep it separate. And I believe that's what causing Final Fantasy VII to sell less. Now, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think I'm talking crap? What's your thoughts?
Okay, there's a lot to cover here, so I want to do this in order. The first thing you said, let me see if I can remember. All right, so you mentioned that you didn't want them. Oh, you talked about how you didn't want them to complain because they only released it on one console. Yes. Well, the first game, the first remake, they released it on one console, and it sold very well. At least in Japan. Obviously, I think it sold well everywhere, but it sold very well in Japan. It didn't do it this time around. I don't, because if they did it once, then obviously they're going to do it again. Because I think Sony has exclusivity for all three titles.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it is. What it is. It is what it is, man. All right. The second thing you mentioned was what's the second thing you mentioned? What were the other theories you came up with?
Well, I don't know if this one was a theory.
AAA games. If this will mark the end of AAA games or whatever, right?
Yeah.
To me, I think the game that is going to ultimately test that theory is Grand Theft Auto 6. When Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, it's going to be interesting to see how much Take-Two and Rockstar price that game.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, it would not surprise me if that game is $100.
What?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Wow.
It would not surprise me if that game's $100. And trust me, the game's still gonna sell.
Okay.
Even at $100, it's gonna sell. So that game is going that how the market goes is gonna be dependent on that game, Grand Theft Auto 6. And Grand Theft Auto 6 is not gonna look. If I had to put a gun to my head, I don't think we're gonna see that game until 2027 at the earliest. That game's gonna take a minute. If they're gonna go as big and as ambitious as it seemed like they're going with 6, that game's not gonna come out till 2027.
Wow.
But my overall point is the price of gaming is gonna be completely dependent on what they do with Grand Theft Auto. Now, the third thing you said, right? When it comes to you mentioned something about what Square Enix did as a cash grab. I disagree with that wholeheartedly.
Really?
Yeah, because
it's the same game. Okay, go ahead. My bad.
I mean, it's not the same game.
But go ahead.
It's not the same game. I remember Final Fantasy VII, and the remake is not the same game.
Okay.
They completely changed that game. They completely it looks like a new game. And I'm sorry, they should get paid for their work. They should get paid for it. So if you don't like the fact that these games are going to cost $70 each, then as far as I'm concerned, you're being a bit of an ingrate.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because
they have no reason. They have no reason to remake these games.
Okay,
they didn't have to do that.
Well, I disagree with that because obviously we want all of these old titles because to be remade because we know that they will be revolutionized. We've seen it with the previous past Resident Evil games. Look how amazing those games look.
And how much did those games cost?
It cost a lot.
Yeah, they cost money to make because they're remaking the game.
Okay, but would you think Capcom should have taken Resident Evil 2 and make like 3 different games for it and 3 different games of Resident Evil 4 and 3?
No, the original game is not an RPG. Resident Evil is not an RPG. This is a 3-disc RPG.
Okay, but Resident Evil was 2 discs.
Okay, and
it was multiple discs. It was
and they were able to make the game and make it at a price point that it was fair to them. You're getting the full-fledged experience of 3 discs from 3 of a full game with 3 of a game that was once 3 discs. And they had go ahead.
You pay one title 3 times.
They're not, but each title's not the same. Each title's not the same. You're pretty much playing the game in episodes, and if it was like 3-4 hours, then absolutely you could get upset. But I know these games are longer, are a lot longer than that. Each one of these are a lot longer than that.
Okay.
So they're completely remaking the game, and to me, they should charge whatever the fuck they want to charge for it. They should be able to charge.
Okay, so your argument, because nobody is doubting that the game looks impressive and it was completely revolutionized, regardless of how people are complaining that we can't do turn-based into the game. Now, if you want to argue that we should at least have an option, I think Nolan or Ruben, had mentioned that. I'm all for it. But at the end of the day, Havanel, just because it's an RPG, that still doesn't give them the excuse to do that. Because otherwise, once again, by using that logic, Capcom should have done the exact same thing with Resident Evil. with that logic. I don't think the genre should matter.
No, I think it does matter. I think it does matter because like Nolan mentioned here, Resident Evil 4 was a mini disc. Was on the GameCube mini disc. When it came to the PlayStation, it was on one disc. But here's the thing: there are multiple chapters to this story that they're recreating, they're remaking.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're gonna try to charge you 3 times. And these games are not these games are not coming out like every month. They're coming out every couple years. Why? Because they've decided to put in the time and effort to recreate these games for you.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, and I'm not talking about you specifically, but for people to be like, oh well, these games should all come out for $70. No, the fuck you don't. No, it shouldn't. They're putting all their effort into remaking a game that they don't have to make. They shouldn't have to make. They wanted it because people wanted, they wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then if you want it, then yeah, you're gonna have to pay for it. And as long as you're getting a good product, what are we complaining about? Like Ruben said, he just charged $40 per part. Bro, by the time each one of these games are being done, it's gonna cost millions upon millions of dollars to make. Look at this.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like the game looks phenomenal. Yes, it does. It looks fantastic. I agree with you there.
Right, like, and trust me, like with the way gaming is now, trust me, like $70 is the cheapest that you would want to pay for it. They decided to turn each disc into their own saga, their own part. Resident Evil 7 Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. That's what they decided to do with it. And when you look at the effort that they put into it, why would I be complaining? Are you still with me? Because your camera went low quality real quick.
Okay.
Okay, it's better. It's better.
Okay.
It's better. I'll let you know. But but like I said, if they're putting all this effort into redoing the game, doing all this, why am I quibbling over how much it costs? Especially especially if they're not coming out every single year.
Hmm. I mean, I hear your point, but I still think paying $70 each, man, like that bro, that will hurt a lot of people's pockets. And you may disagree with my theory, but I truly believe that's one of the reasons why the sales are bad, because now they have to pay $70 again.
But they knew that. A lot of people knew that. And look, at the end of the day, like Square Enix, anyway, it is like I mean, they can make their decision, but it's not for the lack of trying. A cash grab is when you don't try and you try to sell people on something. They clearly tried here.
Okay, so you don't think it was a cash grab? Okay.
No, they did you guys a favor. They did all you Final Fantasy fans who wanted the one thing I do remember, Final Fantasy,
yeah,
when they announced it in 2016, the remake on 2016, dude, that got one of the biggest reactions out there. That got one of the biggest reactions at that show.
At least.
My bad. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? They got one of the biggest reactions at the show. All right, so they gave you what you wanted. And now you guys want to quibble because you guys have to pay for it? What? If you wanted a full-fledged remake of these games, yeah, you're gonna have to pay for it. Because look at what they're doing with it. They didn't have to do this.
Okay, so it looks like you definitely on the side of Square Enix for using this strategy by separating it and having different chapters making you having to pay multiple times. So I guess you're in
Yeah.
favor because of the revolutionary of the game,
Because you're not getting. I know for a
and
fact you're
because
not getting. Go ahead.
and because that it's RPG.
No, but you're not getting. You're not getting. You're not getting like 5 to 10 hours from this stuff. You're getting. You're. I guarantee you're getting multiple hours. Like we're talking about tens and tens of hours. Playing this game.
Mm-hmm.
I know you are. So I don't have a problem with them trying to make money off of their artwork. Especially when they're putting in all this effort to do it.
I mean, like, well, like I said, that was my position. But if what you're saying is that because of all the hard work that you're putting in, and if they believe that they're not going to get their money's worth or the money back, or make a profit as far as the profit margin is concerned, by having it just released just one time and it's not going to be enough, then I could understand that point. I could definitely understand that point. And if that's the main reason why they decided to keep it separate, and having you pay multiple times, which I still think that's a low blow to your pockets. But like, if they're doing it because they want to make a profit from the game, and it's not a cash grab, then yeah, I definitely see your point. I definitely see your point.
I'm just saying, like if you have these people recreating this game the way that they're doing it, I don't see why there's a problem with it. I don't see because oh well when I was younger I bought 3 discs for 70 for $50 or whatever. Well, they're not porting the game that game over to here. They're recreating the game.
Right.
And they decided, what, we'll give it to you the way that we give it to you. And it's your decision whether or not you want to buy it or not. But I don't see it as a cash grab. And to me, like if you're complaining about buying a sequel, basically, which what this is a sequel for $70, then I don't know, man. Then you just started gaming yesterday because this is what it is. This is what it is.
Okay. All right. I guess
Right.
we'll end it there.
Yeah. Rudolph said it's a new
Good
game.
discussion though.
Yeah. The style is our action RPG. There's less wait time. So me personally, man, like I just think that like the work that they're doing with the game and the fact that they don't have to give you that game in the first place, I don't see I don't see what the problem is. I really don't. But
So you don't like Ruben's comment, his last one, when he said just charge 40 per game since you're paying multiple times for it.
and that I guarantee you that's not if they charge it individually, they're not charging you 40. They're gonna charge you 70.
Hmm.
So if they like, and the thing is that the games are not all 3 games aren't out yet, so they have to do it this way. Because I don't think the third game is gonna come out next year. It's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right. So we'll go to the next topic, and that's me again, right?
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles Barkley.
All right. We're talking about Charles Barkley again, folks. We're talking about Charles Barkley again, but for Hoobie's sake, it has nothing to do with Trump this time. So I'm sure he's happy about that. But we are going to be talking about Gil, once again, because he went on, to CNN once again, and he pretty much has something to say about the NBA. Now, you all know how I have been critical, with the NBA for the past couple of years, well, the past few years, whether if it's with the regular season and especially with the All-Star game, etc., etc. I've been extremely critical of how soft the NBA has been, how everyone is just shooting threes. Pretty much, I personally believe that is the consensus. A lot of people have been complaining about the NBA, and I think that's one of the reasons why now the NBA is trying to make some rule changes. They implemented a couple new things as far as the play-in tournament and all this other stuff that they're adding. I guess, to improve the game or to bring the people back who decide not to watch anymore. But and regarding with this topic, Charles Barkley had said something very interesting, which he definitely had said before, and I completely agree with him. So I have the video, and I'm going to start the video now. Well, let me share it real quick, and after that, we'll go move on, to the next topic. I'm going to try to keep this short. Let's see. Here we go. Right here. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, with this video is 14 minutes long, so I decided to just get it to the nitty gritty, to where he was talking about the NBA, because all the other stuff, just in case you all are wondering, he was talking about other things that was not NBA related. But if you want to watch the whole entire interview, I will put it in the Discord, so you guys could watch the whole the whole entirely of the video. But this one is specifically about the NBA right here in this section, so I'm gonna play it right now.
Do that.
Yeah, and there's a reason.
You were able to hear it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. As long as everybody could hear it. All right.
For that.
Yeah.
But you just said he scored 50, what?
56, I think he
56.
had in that game.
So lately we've been seeing all these guys scoring, like Luka scored 73 points, Joel Embiid 70 points, Giannis 64, Devin Booker 62, Karl Anthony Towns 62. What do you guys make of these high scoring games?
Okay. Before Charles answered the question, I'm going to say this to you, and I'm pretty confident you will disagree with me. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have been seeing lately guys have been scoring more 60-point games, and now it's not as common, but lately, we've been seeing guys, scoring 70-point games now. And obviously that has to do with, with the constant, 3-point shooting. But I also believe the reason why these guys are just scoring more points than ever, I think that's also has to do with no defense. And I remember you and I had this little argument when we was talking about the All-Star game, where I even said, not just the All-Star game, but even in the regular season, they're not playing defense like they used to. And
we're not allowed to.
I refuse to believe that everyone could just score 70 points. Just because of the simple fact, these guys are just great talented players, and that's how they're able to to score 70 points, which was extremely uncommon before. It's gone to the point to where when Devin Booker, I remember when Devin Booker had scored 70 points the first time, people didn't really talk about it.
No, because they lost, and he and his team stunk.
Well, but wouldn't you still think that is an amazing achievement to score 70 points?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But it wasn't really mentioned. And when Joel Embiid, scored 70 points, yeah, people talked about it, but they didn't go all crazy over it like they did back in the day when guys used to score 60 or when Kobe Bryant scored 80. It seems like now it has gone so bad to where 60, 70 points. Well, I don't want to go too far saying at 70, but like scoring 60 points seems to be like a common thing. Like it's not something that we can just, give the guy, his flowers. It's like, it's just another 60-point game. And I feel like because they are scoring, so much, it just devalues, all the, the high scoring, similar to how, I guess a really good example that I could use is remember when Russell Westbrook had his triple doubles the first time when he averaged, the triple doubles, how everyone, went all crazy for it. But then when he did it, the year after, and then the year after that, people didn't talk about it anymore. I don't want the same thing to happen when it comes to guys scoring 60, 70 points, but it's already happening now because it's happening too much. So now it's no longer as special anymore. And do you see why I say that it is so crucial and so important, to play defense? Because now if guys are going to be out there, scoring, 70 points, or let's say one day a guy, scores 80 points, if people are just gonna think of it as, not a big deal. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? So we're no longer gonna, praise guys, for scoring 60, 70 points anymore. Like, those things are no longer going to be covered because it's too common. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. Please tell me you agree.
No, the reason why, no, I don't agree with you. The reason why, so first of all, Molto made a good point here. He said that all these games happen within a week. That's true. Hell, Embiid and Towns happened on the same day. And I remember while Embiid was going for 70, he had like 42 points in the second half, but they lost. And I remember because his coach called out the team for trying, I guess, for not playing the right way afterwards. Because I think they were trying to feed him the ball, and he couldn't keep up the same pace, or whatever. But here's what I'll say: the reason, first of all, like you have to acknowledge that there's more talent in the league now than there's ever been. Overall talent, right? 2, the reason why there's no defense in the league because that stuff got taken out of the league. If you breathe on the guy, they're gonna call a foul on you. You mentioned the 3-point shooting, which is definitely a part of it. But the reason why people say there's no defense in the NBA is because they blame the NBA. It's not the players' fault. It's the NBA's fault. The NBA has made it to where these guys can't play the type of defense that they used to. And it's a little bit harder because not everyone shoots threes. It don't matter how good a defense you play. If a guy shoots a 3 and it makes it, then it don't matter. It's a make-or-miss league. And guys now are shooting the ball more from 3, making the 3-point shot more. And I mean, that's just how it is. But when it comes to actual defense, like the reason why defense isn't a priority because that's the NBA's fault. They didn't make it. They stopped making it a priority.
Yeah.
But like to me, I mean, you can continue on. I know Barkley has more to say. You can continue on with that.
All right.
All right. So,
well, the reliance now on the.
Oh, what happened?
Well, I was gonna read more comments, but you go.
Oh, you can read it because
okay.
we're gonna like keep up with the comments anyway.
Okay. We'll be surprised soon with the league's weak defense. I don't think anyone's gonna score 100 points in a game ever again. Unless it goes like multiple overtimes, but I don't think a player will do that ever again.
Well, remember there was no 3-point shooting back then.
Yeah, sure.
And he was able to accomplish that. And now that guys are scoring, 70, plus, points. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody does, end up doing that eventually.
No, I don't see it. I don't see it. Let's not forget Mitchell scored 71 last year.
True.
While the scoring numbers from the 50s and 60s don't look as inflated by today's standards. I think that's what made Wilt Chamberlain such an anomaly because he was. I don't think there was a guy who was as big and as skilled as he was. That's why no one could stop him. That's why he scored. That's why he averaged 50 points one year. You know what I mean? Like, because no one can stop him.
Yeah. He wasn't he like the tallest guy, like a foot taller than everybody else?
I mean, I don't know if a foot taller because Bill Russell was in the league also, but
that's true. Yeah.
You got a lot of dudes, and you got a lot of dudes who are not as big as him and not as skilled as him. So yeah. But anyway, you can continue.
A 3-pointer, which used to be a punctuation, and now it's a strategy. A disproportionate number of shots taken are threes. The mid-range jumper you don't see as much anymore. Defenses are different now. Michael Jordan's last game, the epic closing shot against Utah, the final score in that game is 87-86, the last game of the 98 finals, and he scored 45. Now, 45 out of 87 is a different thing than what's the norm now. The average game is probably 20 points higher than it was during your career.
So do you think it's the 3-pointer too? Why they're doing
it's a 3-pointer, first and foremost, but also these millennials have ruined my game.
How so?
It's become a 3-point shooting contest.
No, real quick. I remember I said this also. The league has turned into a 3-point contest. we have to do something about the 3-point shooting. Now, you completely disagree with what Bill Simmons says about taking it on and off throughout the game, and you completely disagree with him, which is fine. Which is fine that you disagree. But you have to do something with the 3-point shooting because it's a constant thing. That's all people do. And the reason why, and someone had brought up a very good point. The reason why that so many people have been complaining over it is because you're constantly seeing it over and over and over, to where it feels like now you don't really need to enhance any other skill just as long as you could shoot far away. And
I don't agree with that at all.
You don't?
I don't agree. Because the perfect example I'll give you is Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson is the all-time leading shooter, 3-point shooter in Miami Heat history. I bet you didn't know that. Because it's weird to think about it that a guy who is mainly just a role player would lead one of the premier franchises in 3-point shooting, but he does. And 2 years ago, he was playing well, shooting the 3-ball well, but in the playoffs, he got benched because he couldn't do the other stuff.
Okay, well then why would you disagree?
Wait. Let me finish. I'm not done yet. I'm not done.
Okay.
So last year he rode the bench for most of the year, right? He'll have spots where he'll play whatever, but he rode the bench for most of the year until injuries happened with Tyler Hero in the playoffs. He started playing more and he did well. So this year he worked on the other game. He worked on the other aspects of his game to make it to where he's not just a 3-point shooter, but the 3-point shooting is still his biggest asset.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is that you can't just come into the league as a 3-point shooter and just be like, oh, I'm gonna shoot the ball. If you get figured out and you're not shooting the ball and you can't do nothing else, you won't play in the league.
Okay.
If all you can do is shoot threes, you'll get figured out.
All right.
You can't play defense. It's kind of similar what's happened to the NFL. You're just going to throw the ball 34 to 50 times a game. You can't play any defense on the wide receivers. Now, if you go back and look, I guarantee you there's 10 to 15 points difference in scoring from the 70s, 80s to the 2020s in football. It's the same thing in basketball. It's become a 3-point shooting contest. You can't. Steve Kerr has actually been going crazy about this lately. You can't play defense anymore.
But Charles, you're not drinking a little glass of haterade, are you? When you say these guys have ruined my game.
No, because
that sounds like the old man who's still saying, when I used to play.
No, anytime you said it, that's what they say to old guys.
Yeah.
But Bob's got 2 points.
Yeah.
Number one, the 3-point shots and free throws. That's the reason scoring is going through the roof. You can't just sit here and say players are.
They're not better players.
Are they betting Michael Jordan?
Huh?
Are they betting Magic Johnson? They betting Larry Bird? They're not.
No.
There's nobody ever. Listen, as much as I love LeBron.
Yes, we do.
And Kobe Bryant.
Yes,
don't forget him.
Yes, we do.
These guys aren't as good. LeBron's not on that list. Kobe Bryant's not on that.
I know that's gonna piss you off. I know that pisses you off. That he says that LeBron is not on the same list as Kobe, Jordan, Magic Johnson, etc.
No, yeah, he's saying Kobe's not on that list either.
But he said Kobe's not on the list.
Yeah, he said Kobe's not on that list either.
Let me go back. I don't think he said that. Let me see.
Yeah, you rewind.
3-point shots and free throws. That's the reason scoring is going through the roof. You can't just sit here and say players are.
They're not better players.
Are they betting Michael Jordan?
Huh?
Are they betting Magic Johnson? They betting Larry Bird? They're not.
No.
There's nobody ever. Listen, as much as I love LeBron.
Yes, we do.
And Kobe Bryant.
Yes,
don't forget him.
Yes, we do.
These guys aren't as good. LeBron's not on that list. Kobe Bryant's not on that list.
Well, Kobe scored 81.
He did
in one game.
But he didn't rely on the three. If he was shooting threes, he'd have had 102.
Maybe.
But
let me look at his stats real quick. I'll look up Kobe 81-point game. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah. Well, what was I going to say? Yeah, he also mentioned the free throw shooting. Now, I don't know how bad or how much of an increase the free throw shooting is from the 90s or the 80s or whatnot, but I guarantee you, because of all the stupid flopping that they did, and I don't know, again, I don't know when the flopping has become a standard. When I mean a standard, I mean like where everybody started doing it like in the constant basis.
Mm-hmm.
But with all that flopping that was going on, no doubt in my mind, we had so many free throw and shooting in every game because of the constant flopping, the constant crying, and I remember someone mentioned how the media had constantly been criticizing the refs over and over and over, where we need to watch replay over and over and over. We have to constantly call every single foul over and over and over again. Yeah, we're going to have more free throws, which is going to constantly slow the game down and is going to constantly cause more high scoring. So think about it like this. We don't have as much better defense, or at least physical defense, as we are like we did before, but yet guys are still getting on the free throw line more than ever before. Once again, that is a problem. That's a huge problem. You're not even playing as rough or physical defense like they did before, and yet guys are still constantly getting on the free throw line more than ever than in the 90s and in the 80s and in the early 2000s. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. You have to address the constant free throw shooting, and you have to address the constant 3-point shooting. You have to address it. Otherwise, you're just going to constantly lose more people. Go ahead.
Okay, so right now we're looking at the chart for the Lakers for the game, the 81-point game for Kobe Bryant. Now this is Kobe Bryant's shot chart.
Okay.
Yeah. So he said that he didn't rely too much on the three. He made 5 threes that game. He made 5 threes. He shot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he was 5 of 11 from 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he's wrong there. Then Kobe Bryant also made 18 of 20 free throws. 18 of 20. He went to the foul line 20 times. No, 10 times. 10 times.
10 times.
Yeah. So I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Okay. All right. That's.
I don't know what this guy's talking about.
No. All right.
So,
fair.
I don't know. Is there more from him?
Yeah. There's just. Yeah. We're almost finished.
Okay.
Listen,
Maybe.
between defense and 3-point shots and free throws, that's the reason guys are scoring. Hey, number of respect for these guys. They're all great players.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, everybody in the NBA, every night, 125, 120.
Yeah.
I'm like, these teams ain't that good.
Back.
Have you seen the Wizards and the Pistons play? They should never get 125 points. Ever.
I'm gonna write that part. I'm
Every
gonna
night, 125, 120.
Yeah.
I'm like, these teams ain't that good.
Back.
Have you seen the Wizards and the Pistons play? They should never get 125 points. Ever.
Okay. Now who?
Let me address that real quick. The game has changed. I know Charles doesn't watch the game. He just does highlights for TNT. But the game has changed.
Okay.
The reason why the Pistons and the Wizards suck is not because they can score 120. It's because their team they're playing against can score more than they can. That's the problem.
Oh wait. But wait. You're saying that they suck, right?
Yeah, they're no good. But
Okay,
they suck.
Well, that's Charles Barkley's point. How you even have garbage?
The game has changed. So teams are going to score more points now than ever. Even the bad teams score more points now than ever. The problem is the reason why they suck is because they can't stop other teams from scoring. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to the league that no one plays defense, they're the team that can play the absolute no defense of any team that plays defense. when in a league that nobody plays defense, they play no defense worse than everybody else. With that said, there is one thing he said that I do agree with him on.
Oh, okay.
But
okay,
he's
let's hear it.
complaining. But he's complaining about the wrong thing. It's not. I don't know if I consider it millennials, but it's analytics. That's what has ruined the game for him. Analytics have shown to where nowadays teams have to do the thing that is the most valuable without breaking the bank in football, or with minimum effort in basketball. The basketball is always either shoot a three or shoot in the paint. They've completely tried to get rid of the mid-range shot in basketball,
Yes.
which was the shot that made guys like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, these guys used to work in the mid-range. And there are still guys in the league today that still work on the mid-range, but we know that they prioritize three-pointers and layups, dunks, whatever. And in football, they do the same thing. Everyone instead of having a premier running game, now guys just throw the ball, 3-yard out, 4-yard outs, 5-yard slants, stuff like that. Because in their mind, it's more effective than having a running back rush the ball 300 times, and his career is over by the age of 24.
Well, but at the very least, though, they still utilize, the running game.
But not the way it used to. Not the way it used to.
Yeah, not the way it used to. But you could still see that they utilize it, fairly. Just it's just not as dominant, like they used to.
Yeah, and running backs don't make nowhere near the money that they should make, despite the fact that how important they still are in the league. They're still important, but they're not. They don't have. There's no emphasis on them. That's why teams have 2-3 running backs play per game, so they don't have to pay one of them.
Yeah,
the days of like Barry Sanders, Emmitt Smith, Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson, like having just one guy be that's over. Because now teams will have to pay them, and a lot of teams don't feel the need to pay them. That's all because of analytics. So he's right there. He's absolutely correct there. But I think he's going after the wrong. He labeled it wrong. I think he's going after analytics, because that's why teams shoot more threes now than ever. That's why teams play like football is played the way that it's played. Analytics.
Yeah, but you could still enjoy the game in a football game. And yes, people. I'm not saying that people are not complaining. People are definitely complaining. But with the basketball game, it has completely shifted to 3-point shooting, to where everything else gets completely compromised. Like you mentioned, you don't see the mid range anymore. And to me, I still believe that because all people do now is just constantly shoot threes over and over and over, you really don't see anything else in the game. You don't see anything else. All you see is just guys, just jacking up threes. It just doesn't make the game fun anymore. It could overall, it can compromise the product. At least with the NFL, they could still get away with throwing the ball or.
Well, my problem with the NFL is how they handle defense. Also,
yeah, with the hitting the quarterback, stuff.
Yeah, they can't do their job. They can't do their job. And in the NBA, it doesn't bother me as much because I understand the strategy. I understand that shooting the goal is to get the most points in a possession, and the most points in a possession without fouls or anything like that is a 3-point shot.
Yeah, that's fine, but again, not everybody is a Steph Curry. That's the thing.
That's fine.
When you have guys like, and look, I know what you're probably going to say. Well, they could shoot threes too. Like I said before, I don't want Joel Embiid and Giannis and Karl Anthony Towns shooting threes. I don't want to see those guys shooting threes. I want them down the post. That's where they should be.
I get it, but here's the thing.
And not everybody could be a Steph Curry or Damian Lillard or James Harden.
They
But
don't
yet,
have to. They don't have to.
but yet everybody wants to constantly, shoot threes, like they're those guys, and it just makes the product look bad.
They don't have to be those guys, but they have to be competent 3-point shooters. And there's more competent 3-point shooters now than there's ever been. That's just how it is. And I mean, you mentioned Giannis. If Giannis had a consistent 3-point game, he would be the best player in the league, period. Because he would be unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how the game is now. It's just how the game is. But what I was saying is that when it comes to the playoffs, you'll get competitive. You'll get competitive games. You'll get hyper competitive games. You'll have guys play more defense, more, and you just hope that you have referees who aren't going to blow the whistle every 2 minutes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? When it comes to football, I always feel like there's going to be one play that you get screwed on because the referee made a call because you landed on the guy wrong, or you hit a guy like 2 seconds later, and he flops and he gets the call. That would be frustrating as hell to me.
Yeah.
At the very least, if an NBA player flops and he gets a foul call, he still has to make 2 shots. He still got to make 2 shots. Here, you're talking about penalties. You're talking about the difference between a field goal and a touchdown with some of these penalties.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So overall, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying, but he's going after. I think he's going after the wrong thing. I think it's more so analytics that he doesn't like. That he doesn't like ruining his basketball. And for some people, I can understand that.
Okay.
All right, so let me read some comments here. Malta said no, Steve.
Like my bad. Side of the room, but I'm just saying. But you still admire the work that they do and love this game. And love this game.
I love the game. It's giving me every single thing in my life, Gail. I love the game.
Me too. Don't go anywhere. King Charles.
Okay, never mind. My bad. All right, so we're done. We're done with the video. All right, go ahead.
All right, so Moses said, Steve, that was a myth. The average height in the time was an inch taller than today. You talking about back then?
Wait. No, Steve, that was a myth. The average height in that time was an inch taller than today's. Only an inch? I don't know if I got it. Yeah, I don't think I got that.
Because I mean, Wembanyama now, you got 2 guys in the league now that's like over 7'3".
Yeah.
That's only because the night will scored 100. That specific night, the player guarding him was 6'6" because the Knicks center was sick. Yeah, I mean, but hey, at the end of the day, 100 points, 100 points.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The league has.
Remember, again, like I said earlier, there was no 3-point shooting, back then. So the fact that he was only able to score 100 points by only shooting 2s is extremely impressive.
The league has turned into brick channel, all bricks all the time.
Yeah, and that's the issue, Hoobie. Yes, you say that the game has changed, and guys are trying to. They need to be. They may not be as good as Steph or Damian Lillard, but that also means that we're constantly seeing more bricks all the time. Also,
I mean, if you're gonna shoot more, you're gonna shoot more shots. You're gonna see more bricks. This obviously, but you're gonna see more bricks in a 91-90 game than a 121-120 game. I'm just saying. Moses, I agree with that. Kobe isn't on that list, but LeBron James is there with Magic and Bird. I think Kobe's right up there with them. I think Kobe,
as far as like being the best player,
among the best, top 10, top 15. If you're like, I think all those guys are up there.
You would put Kobe in top 10?
I would put Kobe ahead of Bird at least.
Okay. So he's on your top 10 now.
He would be ahead of. Is Kobe in my original top 10?
I
don't think he is.
I don't think he was before. No,
I don't
but
think
he's
he was.
on your top 10 now.
I mean, I don't know if I put Kobe in. I can't have. It's hard. It's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. But he should absolutely be on the list, regardless of my list or not. He should absolutely be on there among the greatest of all time. Among there, he absolutely should.
Okay.
Just so you know, LeBron has a 16-6 record against Kobe. Great point, Steve. I realize the players today shoot as many free throws with less defense and hard fouls.
Yeah, exactly what I said. You don't find that to be an issue, who we win 86?
No, I don't think so. I think the problem that I have with free throws is when guys complain when they're not getting it. When when they get it all the time, and guys, referee's gonna miss calls. It is what it is. And then I see, the bullshit that we talked about with Rudy Gobert a couple weeks ago and Luka crybaby ass like if you're aggressive, you'll get to the foul line. When you're going into the paint, you'll go to the foul line. It is what it is.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you acknowledge that, Malta, because like I said, I think it's very sad that we constantly seeing more and more free throw shooting, despite the fact that defense has been garbage overall. At least the comparison. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I'll look that up. Later on. I'll look it up later. I'll put whatever results I find. I'll put in the Discord. But I heard that free throw shooting has actually gone down over the last. Everyone's shooting threes. No one's trying to go to the paint anymore. There ain't no one trying to establish themselves in the paint like what Shaq used to do.
Mm-hmm.
And Shaq used to go to the foul line all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll look up some data on it, and I'll post on Discord either later on tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, with all that hacker Shaq, and I remember he got pissed off in TNT when Charles Barkley would name hacker Shaq. I don't know if you ever saw that.
Yeah. LeBron's not on the list. Kobe not on the list. As much as I love Kobe, that's from Nolan. Ruben said weak defense. Multi said I meant the reason people think the players were very short is because of the one night Will scored 100 was against shorter players. Back then, there were a traditional power forward of 6'10" or taller. Okay, all right, I see what he's saying.
Yeah, I think. But what I wanted to go back real quick to what Nolan said, because he said LeBron's not on the list. Kobe Bryant's on the list. As much as I love Kobe. Wait, when you say on the list, are you referring to top 10, Nolan? So if you could hear me, I'm curious. So you saying LeBron is not on your top 10 list? Because if he's not even in the top 10, that's a huge shocker. But go ahead.
Multi said, for me personally, I wouldn't have Kobe in the top 10.
Wow.
Ultimately, if it's the refereeing and also the floor spacing, which is why it's a lot easier to score. No hand checking. Are you kidding me? I agree with him. I agree with Multi 100% on that. Once they got rid of hand checking, which they got rid of hand checking in the 90s.
Yeah.
In the mid 90s. Yeah, but it makes it.
So you think they should bring that back?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, I think so. I think they should make it to where defense is. I get you want people to score. I get it, but you have to give guys an opportunity to defend.
Yeah,
more so in football. I feel like it's gotten so ridiculous in football than in basketball. I think in basketball, you allow hand checking. I think you can allow the game to be a little bit more physical. But people are still gonna shoot threes. That's just how it is. You guys are gonna keep shooting threes. But the game could be a little bit more physical. More lately, watching 80s and 90s basketball, most of the players were inside the perimeter at all times, especially in the driving lane. Yeah, that's true. I was talking about Barkley's quote.
Okay, so you were quoting his quote, but even with that, I'm curious. Do you have LeBron James? Oh, he has it here. So he says LeBron is my number 7 out of 10. Now, while having I was going to go to the next topic, I am curious. Who are the guys that you have ahead of LeBron James, because I rarely hear people put LeBron James that low. Because frankly, when I talk to people and I argue with people, whether in social media or in person, they usually have him like at the very least. The lowest I've heard someone had LeBron James is at number 5, or I think maybe number 6 also. But 7, I never heard of anyone putting him at 7. Well, no, actually, no, I'm lying because Skip Bayless I think had him like at 11 or 12. So wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
That's not hitting at all.
So yeah, so go ahead, Lona, if you don't mind. Like, I'm curious, who do you have? The 6 guys you have ahead of LeBron. All right, go ahead, Ubi.
All right. So last topic of the night. Now this is a baseball story, but this is a big story. This is huge story, and I'll explain in a second. But let me read this story for you. Now the guy right here you're seeing is Shohei Ohtani. Let me see if they'll. Is this a story video? Let me see. Let's see what they'll play. Oh, they're gonna play ads first, so we'll ignore the ads once that's done.
Mm-hmm.
But so let's okay, let me see if it'll play.
Got a lot of stuff to get to.
Okay, that had nothing to do with Shohei Ohtani. I don't know why this is there. So I'll just read the story.
Okay.
The Shohei Ohtani gambling story seems complicated. There's a lot there. It's hard to follow. There are different versions and explanations and excuses. It's tempting to just ignore it until MLB decides to do what they could potentially rank with the likes of Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson. Now, let me explain something real quick. First thing first, Shohei Ohtani is the best baseball player on the planet right now.
Okay.
He's the number 1 guy in the league. He's among the best hitters and pitchers in the league. He's the modern day Babe Ruth, right? And this past offseason, he signed a 10-year deal worth $700 million.
Oh yeah, I remember we were supposed to.
Yeah, we were supposed to talk about that. Yeah,
but I could have before we continue. I could have sworn. Just correct me if I'm wrong, because I obviously I don't want to misquote you. But I could have sworn you said the best guy in the league was the one that Stephen A. Smith was talking crap about when he mispronounced his name intentionally. I thought you said it was that guy. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't.
I think the Japanese guy or whoever he was.
No. I mean, no. Are you talking about the time when he was talking about the Japanese guy? He wanted him to speak English.
Yes.
That's Shohei. He's talking about Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, okay. All right. So
that was
that. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that is him. Yeah, my bad. Because I don't watch baseball, so
yeah. All right. So that's fine. So to put it in contrast, $700 million. He makes more money than some NHL teams. I don't think there's an NHL team that has that's worth more than Shohei Ohtani. You know what I'm saying? Now here's another thing that's interesting about his contract. Most of the contract is deferred until after the contract is over. So I think he's only making $2 million a year. But once the contract, near the end of the contract is when he'll make most of his money, which I don't think is fair.
I don't think it's fair either.
No, because the LA Dodgers, they spend a ungodly amount of money on players and free agents, right? Remember, MLB does not have a salary cap, so they can spend money on whatever. And the fact is that he gave them a discount so that they can get more players, and I don't think that's fair.
Why don't I mean it's been shown that Tom Brady, does stuff like that, and I think Patrick Mahomes did that recently.
No. That's different because they have a salary cap. Baseball does not have a salary cap.
Okay.
So you're telling him to take a pay? Not okay. All the contracts are guaranteed, so he's gonna get his money. But a team as rich as you guys can just sit there and just pay all this money, and then you tell a guy to take less. and then you just spend, hundreds of millions of dollars about everything that happened you can spend it on other players. I don't think that's fair.
Mhm.
I think that's BS. But that's another topic for another day, right? But they mentioned Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson, right? Now, I want to continue reading,
Okay.
but let's get to the smoking gun. Let's get to the smoking gun. Pete Rose, okay. Gambling in baseball is the biggest sin you can commit in MLB. It's the biggest sin. Gambling on baseball. Now, the Shoeless Joe Jackson story that happened in the 1920s, where they rigged a World Series due to gambling. I don't know the full story of it, but this is why the Black Sox were banned, and that's why he was banned. Pete Rose. Now, there is no baseball player ever that has as many hits as he does.
Okay.
And like he has more hits than anybody. He's banned from baseball, so he's not in the Hall of Fame.
He's banned from baseball
Mm-hmm.
because he was gambling also.
Yeah, he admitted to gambling on baseball.
Oof.
So this story. So as we continue reading the story, you'll see why this story is bad. Here's the situation in a nutshell. Why would the illegal booker at the heart of the case, Matthew Boyer,
Oh, it's a bookmaker. Okay.
extend seven figures of credit to someone making less than six figures as an interpreter? So let's continue on. Boyer was either too stupid to protect his interests or smart enough to know Ohtani was backing the bets made by Ippei Mizuhara. Now here's the story as it maintained. Now, apparently, like Shohei Ohtani, he does speak English but not well, so he uses and he has an interpreter. His interpreter, his name is Ippei Mizuhara, right? They've known each other for a long time, right? They've been working together. He's been his interpreter the entire time, right? So a couple of years ago, he meets this booker Matthew Boyer, right? And they start gambling or whatever. Now he starts losing money. This interpreter, he starts losing money, right?
Oh, okay.
Now, mind you, as an interpreter, he's being paid by MLB. He's not being paid by Shohei. He's being paid by an interpreter. He's being paid by the team. So he's not making that much money. He's making about, I think they mentioned like $85,000 a year or whatever, which is not a lot.
I'll take that.
Yeah, no, I would too. I would too. But
for somebody
on the grand scale of things, that's not a lot.
Yeah.
So he's running a debt. He's losing money. He's borrowing money from friends and family, and it wasn't until the dollar amount reached $4.5 million is when he reportedly went to Shohei for help. But let's continue on because there's a lot more that goes to it. That's the light bulb that flashed and buzzed for me after reading Sunday's item in the Washington Post that focused on Boyer's background and path to becoming a bookie. Okay. Attorney Diana Bass, who represents Boyer, has tried to downplay any suggestion that Ohtani was placing the bets. He never spoke to him, never met with him, never texted him, Bass said, regarding Ohtani. The only person who he ever met or spoke to or texted with was Ippei. She also said Boyer has no athletic clients that she is aware of. In other words, he might. Bass likewise said that Mizuhara proximity to Ohtani that prompted Boyer to keep extending credit to the interpreter. She said it was because Ohtani was Mizuhara's best friend. not his backer. Of course, once it come to light that money straight from Otani's bank account was used to pay Boyer, the situation was characterized as theft by Ohtani. So here's what happened here. So he asked Ohtani, "Hey, bro, can you help me out? I need money. I need to pay these debts, right?" So what happened was he tells Ohtani, and Ohtani wire transfers money to this booker, right? He wire transfers them that. So basically, he used Zelle. Basically,
Okay.
okay. So let's continue on. Let me see, where am I at here? So basically, the situation is one of these three things. Ohtani, in lieu of telling Mizuhara he's not very good at betting and should stop doing it, told him that their friendship was strong enough to translate to an unlimited pool of gambling credit. Ohtani allowed Mizuhara to get close enough to Commander Ohtani's bank account and steal the money, and or Ohtani was the one making the bets, and Mizuhara was the conduit. From the bookie's perspective, only two or three make sense. Number one is the one thing that a bookie shouldn't trust. If the bookie's any good at making book, that's not that, and that's the very excuse the bookie lawyer is floating. So either Boyer isn't a very good booker, a bookie, or Mizuhara / Ohtani aren't very good liars. Whatever happened, okay. Okay. All right, that's it for that. That's it for that. For that.
Yeah. It was getting good. Like, you don't have any more other articles? That's the only one?
No. But let me. Okay, so let me go to the events. I'll see if I can find a better article. But let me go to the series of events. Right. So ESPN was investigating this thing because here's the thing: the booker that they were dealing with, it was done illegally. He's an illegal booker because you can't gamble in LA. Like, you can go to a casino and do that, but you can't. They don't have a sports book like we do down here.
Mm-hmm.
I know you you've seen the commercials of Hard Rock, Florida, and all the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's now legal here to gamble, openly in Florida. It never used to always be that case.
Right.
In California, that's not the case. You can't gamble anywhere unless you're in a casino or whatever.
Correct.
Right? So the interpreter, he's dealing with the booker or whatever. So ESPN was about to run the story. So they wanted to talk to to Ipe to find out, his side of the story. So they talked to him for 90 minutes. And he pretty much tells them, yeah, I made these bad bets. I incurred this debt. I was doing this and doing that. I was borrowing money from people, and then once it got to a point where it got really bad, that's when I asked Shohei. So he told the reporter that Ohtani helped him pay the debt. Pretty much paid the debt through wire transfers. So he told him that. Then he went on about his day, right? And like I said, and the thing is that the season technically started in Korea. They did a Korean series where they played the Padres, and he was in the dugout for the first game talking to Shohei. Everything seemed fine. He told the story, whatever. It is what it is. The next day, the Ohtani's team, they're like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on, right? So they find out that the story is going to come out. The interpreter addresses the team saying that, oh, I'm so sorry, I have this gambling debt and all the other stuff, and that's where the story going to come out. Now, according to Ohtani's people, that was the first time Ohtani heard about any of this. He had no idea about the debt. He had no idea about the about him talking to reporters, and more importantly, he had no idea about the money that he had reportedly transferred to this Matthew Boyer guy.
Wait, he didn't know about it?
Yeah,
That's weird.
very weird.
Okay.
Very weird. Cause you remember, like, again, obviously you're my best friend, right? And I mean, there's no way you would ever have access to my bank account. Never, never.
Yeah,
And like, and vice versa. So I don't know how you don't know that you have $4 million in the bank missing, but he didn't know anything about this, and according to sources or whatever, he talked to his people, he talked to Ipe, so Ipe had to go back to the reporter and recant his entire story. He had to pretty much say that I lied. He didn't know nothing about the debt or anything like that. So the reporter asked him some extra questions, and he said that he couldn't answer it because he wasn't allowed to answer at the time. Because I guess he lawyered up. And then later on that day, Ohtani's people pretty much said that he was a victim of theft. So now we go from
No, go ahead. I didn't say anything.
So we go from borrowing money to help a friend pay a debt to this dude stole money from my account.
Wow.
So something's not adding up here. Something's not adding up here. Because if Ohtani knew nothing about this, there's no way the money could have been transferred out of his account without him knowing. Unless now remember, these two are best friends, but maybe, and remember, he's interpreting for Ohtani. So he knows English very well. Ohtani not so much.
Right.
So do you think it could be a case where you had the interpreter, he's telling people one thing and telling Shohei another thing?
Right, because he doesn't understand any English.
Yeah,
so
at least not as well.
Stories are being told.
Yeah. Now another theory that's being thrown out there, and it mentioned that in the article, that Shohei's betting, but Ipe is covering for him. That Ohtani doing making the bets, but because Ipe has Ipe has more to lose, he's the one that has to cover for Shohei, and he's being it could be that. Because here's the thing: when gambling, like I mentioned earlier, it's a no-no in the sport. You can gamble on other sports if you want, but it can't be. You can't bet baseball, and you can't bet with illegal bookers. And they did obviously they because Matthew Boyer, their booker, the guy who's part of it, he's being investigated by the FBI. He's being investigated, so he's fucked.
Oh, jeez.
He's done for. Right? So now we need to know what's going on with Shohei and Ipe. Because, like I said, they made a theft. And then today, Shohei Ohtani with another interpreter, they did a press conference. They didn't take no questions, though. They took no questions.
What?
So he just came out with a statement saying, he everything that Ipe said was a lie. That's pretty much what he said. Now, I don't know, man. All I'm gonna say is this. Like I said, he's the biggest star they have right now. The goal, the MLB, their wish is for this to go away. But if they find out that he bet on baseball, now if they find out that he bet with an illegal booker, he's gonna get in trouble. But he's not gonna get suspended for He's not gonna get a massive suspension.
Okay.
Even though he might get a suspension, but he's not gonna get a massive suspension. But if they find out that he not only dealt with this illegal booker, but he also bet on baseball, he will be banned for life. And that would be a fucking disaster for the sport. It's like Michael Jordan getting banned from basketball because of gambling. Which was the rumor back then.
Yeah.
But but when it comes to gambling in baseball, that's a big no-no. And if they find out that he did that, he will be banned for life. And that would be an absolute disaster for the sport.
So there's a possibility that he had an illegal, booker, because obviously it's obviously he's doing it to pretty much cover his tracks, because somebody will be doing the bets for him. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that I'm confused, that I'm confused about is the whole money transfer thing, because you obviously would get some kind of notification that, hey, or you would get like some type of alert that, especially if it's like millions of dollars, that, hey, your millions of dollars was transferred to to the such and such account. You would get some type of alert or something, because that's a big deal.
Yeah,
millions of dollars is a big deal, and there is absolutely no way that you wouldn't get any type of notification from your bank or whoever that millions of dollars just got transferred to another account.
But is that something that he would know? That's the thing, because he's been with him ever since he came to the country. So, if they're that close, could it be to where he was an interpreter slash guy who helped with all his finances and all the other stuff? Could it have been like that? Where he's the one that sets up the bank accounts, he's the one that helps get the house and all the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be that? I don't know.
You see how important it is to learn English, which you were always against, but that's another topic for another day. But
here's the thing: if I'm making $700 million, right? Let's say if I sign that contract and I'm playing for the Dodgers, which is a big franchise. Big franchise. They're going to have Japanese options out there. You better find one Japanese person that I can deal with. I'll pay for it.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is that he had a friend who is Japanese who spoke English, and he according to Ohtani's people, kind of swindled him. I mean, I wouldn't call it swindle, because he would take more money from him, but who took money from him? You know what I'm saying? So
they will for sure ban him if he did gamble in baseball, because I'm assuming the reason why it's a huge no-no, like you said, it's like the ultimate sin, is because they probably did that in order to, I guess, compromise the game, pretty much.
That's what happened with the Black Sox. That's what happened with them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Actually, let me look that up right now. I might as well look it up right now, because like I said, I always heard that story, but I never really looked into it. But we might as well read it right here. But in the meantime, if you want, you can read comments, because there's definitely a couple comments that I want to read. Let me start from
okay. So Nolan mentioned John Stockton, Carmelo, and Jordan. I'm assuming ahead of LeBron James, but that's only 3 guys. So
I'm not putting neither one of those Jazz players ahead of LeBron. That's just me though.
I'm wondering who else he put on there. Okay, now Nolan also says this is crazy. Knowing Pete was banned for gambling, you want to be this close to the MLB and gamble, foolish. Now, like I said, I never really paid attention, to baseball. Like I really tried watching baseball back when I was in middle school because a lot of guys who I was hanging out with, in middle school love freaking baseball, and I'm like, let me give this thing, a shot. And I just couldn't, I just could not get into it. I freaking hate baseball. But what interests me is the fact that sport is the only sport where you're not allowed to gamble. Now, I don't know if because in the NHL you could gamble, right? In the NHL.
Yeah, but regardless of the sport, they don't want you betting. They don't want you betting, on their sport. But I'm just saying that in baseball, it's the biggest crime.
Well, yeah, because guys who had bet in the NFL, like they would just like get suspended or get fined.
Yeah, like we had Calvin Ridley, he was suspended a year.
Yeah.
So, all right. So this is Joseph Jefferson Jackson, aka Shoeless Joe, was an American outfielder who played MLB in the early 1900s. Even although his .356 career batting average, which is very good by the way, which is amazing by the way, is the fourth highest in the history of MLB, he is often remembered for his association in the Black Sox scandal, which members of the 1919 Chicago White Sox participated in a conspiracy to fix the World Series. As a result, Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis banned Jackson from baseball after the 1920 season. So, yeah, they tried to fix the World Series. Wow. And that's why that's the reason why they don't want gambling in baseball.
Yeah.
So okay, so moving on, critical drop. He said, "Hello, all just got off of work. Did you hear what happened to Planet Fitness?" Let me ask you a question. Are you purposely telling your brother to do this?
No. I didn't know. Are you serious?
Okay.
Are you serious?
All right, I'm just asking questions.
No. And yeah, critical drop. But yeah, I know what happened with Planet Fitness. I actually wanted to talk about that today, and I just completely forgot because I got sidetracked with the whole X-Men when we was talking about X-Men. So I completely forgot about Planet Fitness. But I'll mention it next week.
Well, why don't you mention it when you make a you plan on making a video this week?
No, I'm gonna talk about it next week. And the reason why I should be allowed to talk about it because it did somewhat involve not with the initial story, but something similar did happen to me regarding with this whole stupid policy that Planet Fitness has. So since it did directly involve me as well, somewhat to a degree, I need to mention about it next week. But yeah, critical drop, and I'm telling you right now, like the stock prices has went down, and this is pretty much what happened, where a guy went into the female's locker room saying that he is pretty much saying that he's a female, he's a woman, and he's shaving his legs and whatnot, showing his private parts to these women. And pretty much the Planet Fitness staff pretty much said that there's nothing that they could do because the policy is the policy. And immediately people were just canceling their memberships, once that happened. Stock prices went down to the point where everyone is saying that this is similar to what happened with Bud Light. And which is why I mentioned those two companies to you in the chat, earlier today. And it just gets worse. And I'm going to, do a little, further discussion, about Planet Fitness because right now they're in serious trouble right now. They're in serious trouble.
I will go with the lawyer being stupid. Ruben said once he's being paid by the league, he's absolutely stupid for gambling. Are you talking about Ipe?
Now, what if once he's banned, he loses the money, right?
Well, he got fired. Well, here's the thing: he got fired that day. The next day, he got fired after the game, mind you. So he's not getting paid by anybody right now. But
No,
when
no,
he
I'm,
was getting,
I'm talking about the baseball player.
oh, you talking about Ohtani?
Yeah.
No, he'll still get his money. He'll get his money.
Oh, okay.
What would Shohei need the money for? I mean, some guys just gamble just to gamble. Like guys who make money, they just like to gamble. I'm just saying that's just how it is. All right. So Rodolfo said it's not a rumor. MJ did gamble. Yeah, he did gamble, but my thing was about him getting suspended when he left the game for 2 years, right? Or 1.5 years. There was always a rumor that he got suspended instead of retiring. He got suspended because of gambling. That was not the case. Like he retired because that what happened with his dad. His dad passed away. That's why he said he retired. Plus, he was dealing with a bunch of other stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, MJ did have like a gambling, problem. And look, unfortunately, look, like it's like I said, nobody's perfect. Everybody has an issue with something. Like we've seen it with all of these athletes, all of these stars who wrestle like in the WWE, etc. Like we've heard all these different stories, whether if it's drugs, alcohol, pornography, cheating scandals. Like it happens to a lot of people, and unfortunately, it does happen to a lot of these stars as well, like mega superstars. And look who he's talking about now. He's talking about this baseball player who's now probably in trouble with gambling. Like unfortunately, it happens. We all have something in our closets.
He said, "I'm not gonna lie, that's funny. Did you tell your brother to say that?" Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. So Malta said he's looking forward to it. I haven't heard anything about it. It would be nice if we were able to discuss it in the Discord and leave it there. But I know.
Malta. I am going to mention it and next week. And Hoovy's 186 is not going to stop me. He is not. Don't worry. He's not going to stop me with this one since it does involve me to a degree. And no, Joe, I'm not going to leave porn out of my month. Make sure you spell correctly. Oh,
he said mouth. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that to him. Don't do that.
He said, oh, my bad. You said mouth. No, I'm not going to leave it out of my mouth. Why? Because it is factual that people have a pornography problem. They do.
I'm just trying. Well, first off, let me address the Jordan thing. The Jordan, is it a problem if he still had lots of money? I don't think it's a problem for him. I mean, he likes to gamble, and when you have a gambler and a guy who's a highly competitive guy, yeah, I can understand him losing money, lots of money because of it. But I don't think it's a problem.
Well, I just think it's silly. If you're, I mean, he's a billionaire now. Like his net worth is $1 billion. Well, why is it that you need to continue to gamble because the point of gambling is trying to get money? Well, why is it that you're trying to gamble when you have the money already?
I think for them it's more about winning than the money. I think it's about just winning than the money. Because remember, like some guys are highly competitive, and they can't do what they grew up doing. And the only thing that can be at least a little bit close to that is gambling.
Now, Malta, you said porn is a cancer. Now, I guarantee you, Joe is not going to say anything about you saying that porn is a cancer. He only likes to attack me. Only likes to attack when I say it. When I say anything negative, about porn or things, being woke, or or when it comes to video games or comics, he will only attack me, and you've seen proof of that. Not with your porn comment, but even when Big James had mentioned the same thing that I have always mentioned when it comes to comics, Jabanis said nothing. It's only a problem when I say it. Go ahead.
Okay, so he said, I stopped watching at age 20. I'm starting my cut so I can get my abs back soon and will lose some bicep mass, which I'm not looking forward to. Joe says, keep your hands off my porn, you Puritans. So,
First off, Javon, like you still, it still doesn't negate my point. You could constantly say keep our hands out your porn crap, whatever. It wouldn't surprise me if you're subscribed to OnlyFans and all these other crazy, disgusting websites that you probably like to watch. And if that's what and if that's what you like to watch, go ahead and do your thing. But at the end of the day, pornography has always been a problem to most people, especially for the ones who are married. That's a fact. So just because I'm addressing that fact doesn't mean that you should have an issue with it. So I'm sorry, Jabonis. It's a problem and it's not a good thing. Now we can move. We can leave now.
Okay. I didn't respond to James because I was on a 10-minute delay, had 2 pauses, and take care of my sons. So, and I never noticed. I thought we were all cool.
No, yeah, we're all cool. We're all cool. I'm just saying that's just how Joe is. He just have the sensation of attacking me, but when people have the same position as I do, he says nothing to them.
Good luck at the gym, Steve. And Joe said Big James can get the smoke too.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to go to the gym. Shout out to to Jacob. That dude's been giving me a lot of tough love lately, and so he's he's been really hitting me hard, with the gym and making sure I do the workouts properly, making sure I'm in the right position. So I just want to give Jacob a big shout out. He's like a brother to me, and I appreciate him so much. But all I'm gonna say is I'm not gonna let you down, brother. I'm not gonna let you down.
All right. So, do you have any other comments on Shohei Ohtani, or are you good?
I guess I just have one question. When it comes to him and you mentioning that he's going to get banned and whatnot.
If they find out that he bet on baseball, he will absolutely get banned for life.
Okay, but but because of his high position and his status, don't you think that maybe he'll probably just be suspended for maybe 2 or 3 years instead?
If that's the case, then what the hell did Pete Rose what happened with Pete Rose then?
I don't know.
I mean, Pete Rose got banned for life, and that ban happened in the early 1990s. Hasn't been unbanned since. You have the greatest hitter, I wouldn't say the greatest hitter, but you have the most prolific hitter in the history of that sport. He has more hits than anybody in the sport, and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because of it.
Yeah, what does that tell you? That they take this shit seriously. And if they set that precedent, and then they decide to let Ohtani go scot-free because you need the sport to survive or some BS like that. That's not fair. That's not fair.
That's not fair.
Absolutely not fair.
Okay.
Now, if Ohtani, it looks like if he's guilty and then he finds a way to pin all of this on eBay, and I guess that's fine. I guess, but I guess that's fine. But bro, then they're gonna they take this very seriously.
All right, so real quick, because Malta, you mentioned good luck to me at the gym. Yeah, I'm definitely going to the gym after the podcast is over. But this is the guy. His name is Jacob. I'm doing the 8-week challenge. With him and this group, and so we stay in we stay in touch, throughout the day, throughout the week. Make sure that we're getting our nutrition's in, our protein in, and we make sure that we do our workouts on a daily basis, and he always wants to have proof and an update of what our eating habits are, what are we doing, and all that other good stuff. So if anybody is interested in following him, go ahead and follow him. Malta, I would definitely suggest that you follow, give him a follow. Yeah, or you could say that Steve sent you. But yeah, he's a really cool guy. Like I said, I consider him like, as a big brother. He's definitely someone that you should have. He's one of those type of people that I love to have in my inner circle. And real quick, I actually met him, at Planet Fitness. And for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, when I first met the guy, I immediately wanted to, I don't know, just treat him right. Like I gave him, perks, such as going to the massage chair and, give him like extra minutes more than, we're supposed to. Pretty much just spoiling the guy. I hooked him up, his friends up, of giving, like 3-day passes and, things like that. I don't know if he remembers, but he's a very good guy. Real cool. I love, talking to him. So yeah, I'm doing the 8-week challenge, with him in the group. He's awesome. So I just wanted to give you a big shout out, Jacob. And once again, you're really cool, and I always appreciate you. I appreciate all the tough love and all the criticism that you've been giving me, because he even said that I look like an ice cream cone. And I'm like, all right, I'll take it. No problem. No problem. And all I'm going to say is, yeah, man, I will not let you down, brother. So once again, I appreciate you. Much love.
All right. Well, I mean, you want to read this comment from Joe?
Man. Oh, shut up. like, oh my goodness. Javon is like, go to your subscription services on OnlyFans and go have your fun over there. All right, go have your fun.
I ain't gonna like you, bro. Like I was gonna say the same thing, but I decided to hold off.
No, you be quiet too.
I didn't want you to get mad at me, but you gave me
quiet too.
You gave him a lot of perks. I ain't gonna lie to you. But anyway, sure.
You be cool. You shut your mouth also. All right.
Yeah, shout out to Jacob.
Yeah. Go. What you said?
Shout out to Jacob.
Shout out to Jacob. That's right. There's nothing homo about giving somebody a shout out. All right.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. But like, right, you can calm down on the praise. Like, my God. Anyways.
Quiet. Now, Nolan says Steve works at Planet. No, I used to work there. I used to work at Planet Fitness, and when I first met him, he wanted to go on a massage chair, and we're only allowed to give I think 10 minutes, but I think I gave him 15 and 20. And then when he was done, he felt like, oh man, that was so awesome. And I said, yo, you want to go another round? He goes, oh, Steve, man, I don't know. Do it. The massage chair, you idiot. All right.
all right, man. I'm trying to be immature.
I know you are. Yeah, you are. You are. I think that's just you hating. That's what it is.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, never mind.
No, continue.
No. Forget it. Because I already know you. And look, Javon is just starting it again. All right, so yeah.
No, did he? Oh man, that dude is so fucked. I think he's fucked, man. That dude's fucked.
Who?
P Diddy.
Oh yeah, it's over. I heard there was a raid and something like that. Yeah.
Both his houses.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can finish.
No, and then I think he went to the Caribbean or something. They got people tracking his flights.
Oof. Tracking his flights. Oh man.
It's over for him. All right. All right. So we're done with the show. Let's finish up and then you can go to the gym or whatever. All right. Joel's ready for all comers. He said, "Come at me, bitches." He's hitting you hard in the right places. I'm not gonna speculate where that's coming from.
I don't even see that. Okay, I see it. Never mind.
Okay, so Rose was banned after he played for the one thing you don't do. He thought it was okay because he didn't bet on his game. Well, he later admitted that he did, but he always bet them to win. He always bet them to win. Let me see. All right, so Joe is skimming through his porn right now, looking for inspiration for a 3D print figure, which he does very well. Oh, and FYI, Randy wanted to shout you out for the shoes you made for me a couple years ago.
Those Super Nintendo shoes?
No, it was the purple and black shoes. I think I have them on my old Instagram account, but yeah, Randy saw them up close for the first time a couple days ago. Very impressed.
Okay, so you still have them. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, yo, another round, yo. No, it is the way you said it was just crazy. This is crazy, man.
Hey, you want another round at the massage chair? That's all it was.
All right. On that note, let's get out of here, man. Let's get out of here. Critical Drop, thank you for trying to sabotage the show. Raggedy Joe, thank you for watching. Nolan, thank you for watching. I'm joking, McKinley. All right, so Joe, thank you for watching. Nolan, thank you for watching. Malta, thank you for watching. Ruben, thank you for watching. Rodolphe, thank you for watching. Whitney, thank you for watching. I said Ruben, right? Yeah, I said Ruben. Yeah, Whitney, thank you for watching. All right, so thank you guys for watching the show. We will be back next Monday. Oh, Ryan Meadows, thank you for watching as well.
You got Big James.
Raster, thank you for watching.
Look at you, man.
Yeah, I apologize. These think Kidvid, thank you for watching. Yeah, these things were popping up late. I apologize. Yeah, so Kidvid, thank you for watching. I do think I got everybody.
You said Ryan Meadows?
Yeah, I just said Ryan Meadows.
Okay, Whitney. Okay, all right.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like I said, keep up with us on Discord. I think it's gonna get pretty interesting on Discord. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, you missed somebody.
Yeah, I said you, Ruben. Yeah, Ruben. Thank you for watching.
Okay, you did say him. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all that note, man. It's time for me to hit the gym now. I will, I have to keep, Jacob updated on what's going on. So I'm gonna do that now. You guys don't forget, give us a quick like. That's all you got to do. Just push that like button and share it to all the platforms that you utilize right now, and we will continue to make more. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out, and have a good one.
Okay. Hold on. I'm just trying to respond to something. Okay. All right. Bye, you guys. Have a good night. Let me get the thing ready. All right. Bye-bye.